Just shout whenever.
And I'll be there.
Uh-huh.
You are my love.
Yeah.
My love.
Do you not know the words?
Be
apart. Are we an item? Yup.
Girl, quit playing. What are you saying? And then another right in my eye. My first love from
My pencil's not working.
time, and I was like, baby, baby, baby.
Ooh.
And that's the intro.
Except the copyright.
Oh, except copyright. And the intro plays. Not yet, because that was copyrighted.
Big titty bitch sit on my face.
And the intro plays now. It's weird seeing you from this angle.
Yeah, I don't.
I have to hello, how are you?
Hi.
How are you, Erin?
I'm fan-fucking-tastic.
Oh, we probably should have said that we haven't.
Hello. I am here, the famous Erin.
Y'all remember how we said we had something special for episode 10?
It's me.
Now you figured out what that special thing was. It's Miss. Oh, redacted.
Redact.
I have to beep her last name out of everything.
My last name is Beep. Erin Beep.
Beep. But yeah, we have a guest. We're going to tell Erin some ghost stories today instead of just each other.
Ooh.
Make it a little bit.
Make it
more
fun.
interesting.
But before we get to all that, how are you?
I'm doing good. We were just here, and I left this morning and came back.
Yeah.
I have to leave again early in the morning.
Which sucks.
So that's going to be weird.
And we did just spend the last hour trying to figure out a tech problem.
We
Unfortunately.
got it done,
This episode is dedicated to Troy
though. Yes.
for showing up to fix our microphones.
A cool
At
man.
10 at night.
Literally, God's gift to microphones. Thank you, Troy.
Thank you, Troy.
Are you okay, Erin?
Yes.
How do you feel finally being here?
I feel great. This building is very scary.
It is. It's terrifying.
I don't want to have to go to the bathroom again.
Have we mentioned the closet in the bathroom on the podcast yet?
We might have in the first
You did,
few.
yes.
Okay. Well,
But not
Erin
much
saw it
detail.
today.
I got more from the Snapchat than the podcast about the bathrooms.
Yeah,
Oh.
there was a lot on Snapchat.
It's a single dimly lit closet with a desk inside.
In the bathroom.
And Adam has to duck to get in.
Yeah. Man's
Yeah.
is tall, though.
But
So
and the doors in there are short. The bathroom doors. Like, the bathroom is just short.
it's just so all around. This is such an old building. It's about to be torn down.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
So they're budgeting a huge new communications building. But yeah, it's about to be torn down. Episode 10, baby.
Yeah, we didn't say.
Oh yeah, this is the Morbid and the Mundane, not the Morbid podcast.
We made this joke already.
I know, but I want to make it again.
Okay.
Erin listens to Morbid.
I was listening to them today.
Whoa.
Do you like them better than us?
No.
It's okay if you say yes.
Why would I say yes?
Oh, I was just curious.
I wouldn't even know about them if it wasn't for y'all.
Oh.
So there's that.
Oh yeah, we did pop your podcasting cherry.
She not a virgin no mo. They were talking about today this lady who she was dead. She died.
Oh.
And at her funeral,
At
at her funeral, she woke up. Like she wasn't really dead.
What?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
I know, right?
Was that
Wait,
just
what
like
episode was that? I kind of want to listen to it.
I don't-
What
Pause.
happened to her?
It was, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Let me see.
We're
Isn't
gonna
that
have
a
to
thing?
listen.
It was episode 25, Urban Legends.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Was it an urban legend? I would assume.
So, no, that one, there was 2 true cases of people waking up at their own funerals. That woman was one. I could not even try to pronounce her name. And then there was a man, I think. Yeah. And at his funeral, they only found out that he was still alive because they saw his
chest moving?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And
I
they just
hate
talk
that.
about different urban legends. But as you can see, I'm 33 minutes and 20 seconds into the episode.
Nice.
So, not done yet.
Not done yet.
Yeah.
I hate that though. Like the concept of accidentally like being mistaken for dead is terrifying.
Like
to
how
me.
the fuck that happens?
There's a tombstone in Ireland that says lived once, buried twice.
Excuse me,
She got like so drunk and they buried her alive, and she got back up and like started fighting. Something went down.
Did they think she was dead?
She
I
woke
remember
up?
the story. Yeah, like something went down and she was buried twice. Like she wasn't actually dead the first time.
We love a drunk
And then
bitch.
like died.
I
and was
hate that,
buried
Emily.
again.
There was this thing. I don't remember where it was super common, but do you know the bells? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It used to be a thing where when you were buried, there was a bell like hung on a hook that was run all the way down to you in your coffin in case you were buried alive.
I don't like it.
So that
And
you
they
could
would-
ring the bell.
And they would ring in the wind. So if you like went to the
Mhm.
graveyard, it just sounded like a bunch of people were pulling bells from under the ground.
Well, what if it's a windy night, but you're also alive down there?
You're
Sucks.
screwed, dude.
I'm so afraid of being buried alive that for like a good few months of my life, months I will never get back, I studied how to get out of a coffin.
Just
You're buried
cremate
alive.
me, bitch. Just
Eat the
cremate
dirt.
me.
Eat the dirt.
What you're actually supposed to do, fun fact, is you're supposed to hit the spot that's by your face over and over and over again until dirt starts coming down, and you push it all down to your feet. And you keep pushing until you can get sit up, and then you just swim your little way out of the dirt.
But what if you're in a casket?
Then you're fucked.
Okay, just bury me in a nice sand pit.
You
No
want
casket.
sand in your lungs?
I don't want dirt in my lungs.
I want to be buried in a mausoleum so that I can get out.
Just walk out.
Just walk the fuck out.
I told Lux
I don't want to
this.
be here anymore.
I straight up told Lux, like, if I die first, you're putting me in a mausoleum in case I'm mistakenly dead. Like, I'm so terrified of it. It's like the
But we're also in Louisiana, so the above ground.
exactly
coffins,
and
so-
Fucking weird.
that. But I'm also like afraid of drowning, so it kind of makes sense.
Um,
I'm just
one-
afraid of being suffocated.
100%.
I think I've told you this before. I used to have the same nightmare over and over again about the bridge.
Do you
Yeah.
remember mine? My recurring nightmare?
Oh wait,
I did not remember yours. So I won't feel bad if you don't remember.
I don't
mine.
remember yours.
Mine was
Oh wait, it's the thing with your nieces and your nephews, isn't it?
No.
Or your godchildren?
no. A light socket would come to life. Remember?
You did not tell me this.
Okay, I had this conversation with someone else, then I would fall asleep like, there's a light socket next to my bed, like that right there.
Yeah, like an
And
outlet.
see how it looks like a face? He
Yeah.
would literally get really big and just come at me, bro.
See, I thought your recurring nightmare was that your godchildren were stolen.
I mean, that's a more recent one. But, like,
Okay.
as a child, that was it.
I had
Right there.
the same dream over and over again that I was on the causeway. And for some reason, I was driving, even though I couldn't drive. And I was always driving a really big car, and you were almost always in the passenger seat. And the rest of
Nice.
the car was full of, like, my sister, my cousins, like, and a bunch of adults, like, telling me I needed to figure out how to drive. Only the causeway was missing huge chunks.
No thanks.
So you'd have to go up, like, ramps and shit and just, like, hope you make the jump. And it always ended going straight down into the water. And then I'd wake up. It was a terrifying nightmare.
I don't like that at all. I don't
Yeah.
like it.
I don't think. I feel like I've had a lot of ones that reoccur, but not one that stuck out. But
Yeah.
I always get stuck in those where you think you will wake up.
Dude,
I get stuck
All the
in
time.
those.
Wait,
what is that
all-
called?
I don't know.
I don't know. Does it have a name?
Yes, isn't that the one where you can like feel yourself?
Oh, wait, that's
Sleep
lucid
paralysis.
dreaming.
Or
Oh, wait.
sleep paralysis.
Are you talking about the one where you're awake but you can't move? Or are you talking about the one where you know you're dreaming and you
That
have
one.
control over it?
That
That's lucid dreaming. If you wake up but you can't move your body and your body is still asleep,
Sleep
that's sleep paralysis.
That sounds terrifying.
It is. And because your brain is really confused, more likely than not, you start hallucinating.
You're like dreaming, but you're awake.
I don't
Yeah.
like it.
I'll like wake up and think I actually woke up and start doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then wake up again, and then again, like I'll get stuck in loops of them. And
Yeah.
I remember one time I got so mad because I kept going, like waking back up, and I was trying to feed a fish that doesn't exist. It was in my dorm room. And I was like, I have to feed the fish. And then I would wake up and be like, I didn't have enough time to feed the fish. And I got so mad.
Are you sure you're awake right now?
No, I can't promise
I mean,
nothing.
what if she's just,
Wake up.
this is all a dream?
Every day is,
We've been trying to get you to wake up for years.
Where's the fish?
where's my fish?
Adam does that thing, though, where he'll stop midway through a sentence and just go, wake up. It freaks me the fuck out every time.
With the big eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Just do it back because it freaks him out as much.
wake up.
I like how his hair is poofing with the headphones.
Usually he has a ponytail on, so when he nods, we can just see the ponytail.
Do you have a ponytail?
He did.
I had this, it was at your house where I fell asleep, right? Woke up, quote unquote, and told someone. It was like a family member or something. Obviously now I can't place it because I was dreaming. But I was telling them about this crazy dream I just had. And then I woke up again and went to the same person and told them about this crazy dream I just had. But it was like, it happened over and over and over again. And every time I would tell them about the dream, they'd get more and more sus. Where it was like, what are you talking about? You weren't dreaming. It was like a reset button.
Oh, whoa.
It was super fucked up, and I woke up really scared.
Yeah. I
Word.
just woke up mad for that one because, like, where is the fish?
I know I already told you guys, but now I have to tell Aaron that last night or 2 nights ago, I had a dream that Errol took all of the doors off the hinges because he needed the screws.
For what?
I woke up so unreasonably angry. Like, it was a dream.
Why did he need the screws?
I don't know.
I want him to do it now.
I told him, I went into his room and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking do it now because but it was like all of the doors in the house. It was the front door, the bathroom door, every single door in the house. The laundry room doors, which are the closet looking things.
Yeah, there's just different hinges.
It was just everything. And every time I tried to open a door, they'd fall over because they weren't on their hinges. I got so mad at him.
Your brain is so interesting.
It's a torture chamber. Are you texting Louise?
No, I'm on Snapchat posting this video of you cuties. But my fingers aren't working. Okay.
That sucks. What else has happened? How are you, Aaron?
I'm great.
You're engaged now.
I am. We went and saw a wedding venue on Thursday.
Do you like it?
I love it. But they're not available like anytime soon.
Well, aren't you getting married next year?
Maybe now in 2023.
Oh, because of the venue.
Yeah. So my brother's gone for a year in Kuwait. And the venue we like doesn't have a Saturday available until the first weekend of January.
Of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
And I don't want to get married like in August because it's hot as balls in Louisiana. And that was our option, is either like August or January. And then they had like November, but it was Fridays. And Friday weddings are hard, especially with his family coming from Puerto Rico. So trying to keep it on a Saturday. Saturday.
You could not pay me to plan a wedding.
I'm already stressed.
You just got engaged.
I know. But now I have plenty of time to like plan it and save more money for it.
Yeah,
well, I guess that's good.
Silver lining.
Luis is like super excited. He's like, yes,
Cool.
more time.
We've been telling this man to get married for forever, and now he wants to prolong it.
Oh, he would get married now if he could. He was like, wait, do you mean this January? Let's do it. And I was like, no. First of all, that's way too soon. I might lose my hair. Second of all, my brother would still be in Kuwait, which I guess he doesn't need to be there, but like.
But, yeah, if you want him to be, you know?
I'd like a wedding gift from him.
You're a bitch.
It's in the blood. In my blood. Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Who was that?
The ghost.
The one hiding under the table.
Don't say shit like that. Last night, because we're recording out of order. So we recorded episode 11 yesterday. Emily's story, I was looking in the windows and shit, like waiting for something to jump out.
If I see someone in that window, like the little door window, I will probably start crying.
Oh, yeah. Word.
Like, I'm not kidding.
These windows specifically, every time we're recording, like, I have to edit out sections of me, like, what was that?
Yeah, and then silence.
There was one time where we came during the day to record, and for some reason, like, right in this general area, we heard tapping.
And it's never come back.
It's never come back, but I was fully convinced that a rat was fucking
Playing the
beatboxing.
drums.
Oh, wait. I was listening to that. You said that rat is very rhythmic.
No, I had to cut out, like, I left some of it in, but I had to cut out, like, minutes worth of us talking about this fucking rat.
Also, if I see a rat, I will cry. Rat or ghost. Either one.
Same thing.
Yeah,
Rat ghost.
pretty much.
Ghost rat.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Word. You ever
What a
played Five
paragraph.
Nights at Freddy's? That's what that
I
game
have
is.
not.
Is Ghost Chuck E. Cheese.
I don't like that at all.
Oh, it's
I'm
worse
not
when
going to
you play.
lie. At work, when we worked together, RIP, the first Five Nights at Freddy's t-shirt I saw, I thought it was a Toy Story character. Until I saw the tag, and I was like, wait, that's familiar.
A Toy Story character?
Yeah.
Well, I guess
'Cause I
like
hadn't
Lotso
seen-
Huggin' Bear.
Well, I hadn't seen Toy Story 3 at that point. So I was like, oh, wait, is that the bear? Because I know there's a bad, like an evil bear.
Lotso
and
Huggin'
then
Bear.
I asked my nephew, you know, the genius 8-year-old that he is. And he was like, Nanny, what the hell? He didn't really say hell, but you know.
It was implied.
Yeah.
It was all in the tone.
Stupid ass nanny.
I cried like a bitch at Toy Story 3. Uncontrollable
beautiful.
sobbing. It's all a Holocaust
Okay, but
metaphor.
Dumbo? Have you
Oh.
seen Dumbo as an adult?
I've
Dramatic.
watched
It's a lot.
that
It is a
scene
lot.
of his mom singing to him. Sobbed.
Okay, but what about when
uncontrollably.
they take him away from his mother?
Yeah. I can't.
I can't talk about it.
It's a lot.
My
Cry.
6
That's all I
children
can
at
say.
home are going to be very sad.
I can't.
I don't have 6 kids at home. I'm sorry to lie.
Have you watched Bambi as an adult? When his mom
Yes.
gets shot, straight up murked. At least Dumbo and his mom are reunited at the end. Like, Jesus Christ. Have you seen the trailer for the new Cruella movie?
Oh my God. Don't,
Did you see?
Don't.
Did you see that they posted, or the movie's gonna come out on Cameron Boyce's like birthday?
I did not.
Yeah.
But also,
It's sad.
the lady
Yeah.
who plays Cruella is literally the perfect specimen to play Cruella.
You're right, and you should say it. Like, that movie looks really good. I just hope they don't make her a good guy.
A beautiful Emma. Emma, you're beautiful. Okay, that's all.
I don't think she's ever gonna.
Wait,
listen to this
but why?
Hey,
what does this?
just in case.
What does this have to do with Cameron Boyce? Was he supposed to be in the movie?
He died.
Yeah, I'm aware.
He
of that.
played Cruella's son in Descendants.
Oh, and I've never seen Descendants.
Oh, you should. Because, like, that was past my generation. Like, I was a High School Musical kid. That was my whatever.
Yes.
But Lux has younger siblings, so has seen all of them, and we decided to watch them, like, all in one sitting. They're bad.
They're bad.
I mean, like, the CGI is bad, but they're Disney movies. Like,
Is that the
they're not
one with
supposed
the-
to be
the-
good.
The blonde girl that sings.
Dove Cameron?
Yes.
Yes.
Her. Okay, I know what you're
She's-
talking about.
Maleficent.
Maleficent's daughter.
And also Maleficent, God bless.
It's a fun movie, though. Like, I enjoyed it. It's very chill. It's very childish. Like, it's not meant to
Yeah,
be
but it's
taken
cool.
seriously.
I like it was on one day in the living room. I just sat down and watched it, and I was like, yeah, it's not bad.
I like the second one because that's when China Anne McClain is in it, and she's a pirate.
love her.
Yeah, that one was
Like,
fun.
like Jack Sparrow.
She plays Cruella, or not Cruella, Ursula's daughter. So she has like teal braids, like box braids in her hair. She looks super cool. And
box braid.
her henchman is Captain Hook's son.
Okay.
So they're like a vibe.
Wait, but Cameron Boyce plays Cruella DeVille's son.
Yes.
Does he have
And-
a Dalmatian?
So his whole thing in the movie was that he was afraid of dogs until like he gets with the fairy godmother's daughter, and it's super cute and ha 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 charming, whatever. And he conquers his fear of dogs, and his best friend is a dog. There was gonna be another movie, but
Wait, so are all the kids like evil, like their parents? Or-
yeah. So they're all the children of villains, and they live on an island where they were like exiled for a while, and then they get invited to come to school with all the rest of the kids.
Like the good kids.
Yeah, with the good kids. So they meet like Aurora's daughter and the Beauty and the Beast's son,
Yeah.
and the fairy godmother's daughter was cute. That's all I remember.
Fairy godmother from which movie?
Cinderella.
So the good fairy, the godmother.
Yes.
I'm thinking of like Shrek fairy godmother.
Oh my God, I love Shrek.
Yes, we know.
When we had a PowerPoint night, I mean we don't really talk to those people anymore, but one of the people who did the PowerPoint night with us, her presentation on why Shrek the Third is the worst movie ever made. And why it needs to be, like, ostracized from the Shrek franchise.
Oh, no.
Like, we played trivia. She was like, who's the bad guy from Shrek 2? And we were all like, Godmother. And she was like, you're all right. Now, who's the bad guy from Shrek 3? None of you fucking know because it was a bad movie.
It's what's his name?
Rumpelstiltskin's movie
Yes.
4.
Wow.
King Arthur.
King Arthur is Shrek 3.
Have I never seen Shrek 3?
Consider yourself lucky. It's a terrible movie.
I definitely was thinking Rumpelstiltskin.
1 is Shrek. 2 is Charming and Godmother. 3, I don't even remember who the bad guy was. I just remember he's traveling with King Arthur. And 4 is Rumpelstiltskin when they go back in time.
An annoying little prick.
It was Humpty Dumpty.
Humpty Dumpty's a good guy, I thought.
No, bitch gets cracked.
Which movie is this? 3?
Shrek 3.
Googling it now.
Please do it.
Humpty Dumpty was also the bad guy in Puss in Boots. DreamWorks just has a thing for making...
Man, he's just an egg.
Yeah, that's what Humpty Dumpty is.
Leave him alone. How's he so evil? Wait, it's funny because the cover literally says Shrek the Third, the best one yet. I'm not lying, look.
I believe you.
Oh,
Absolutely
no.
not.
Wrong.
Imagine being DreamWorks.
Okay, but I don't see Humpty Dumpty anywhere.
Are you sure you're not remembering the Puss in Boots one with Humpty Dumpty?
Well, he said Humpty Dumpty. I remember seeing Humpty Dumpty. I just don't remember what movie it was from. So it was probably Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
Then who's the bad guy in Shrek the Third?
They show the baby, which is, I mean, obviously not the bad guy, Puss in Boots, donkey. There's a wizard with like a blue hat.
Maybe?
And then there's just a
3.
baby butt with a diaper.
We'll report back on this.
Yeah, we will report back. We watched all of the How to Train Your Dragon movies not that long ago. And we need to binge
in, like,
another
one day.
franchise. I cry every time.
Let's watch all of Monster High.
Dude, don't
I just
tempt
did.
me.
I just did. It's worth it.
I've never seen Monster High in my life.
I love
And I heard y'all talking about the Monster High dolls on the last podcast.
I love it.
And I was just so confused.
A little girl came into my place of work checking out, and I was checking her out or whatever, and she had a little Monster High wallet, and I was like, I don't know how to tell you that I, as a grown adult, like, relate to you on a level that no one else can.
Rumpelstiltskin had his life ruined by Shrek's Princess Fiona and sought revenge on Shrek, like Prince Charming, the main antagonist of the third film. So this says Prince Charming is the main antagonist of the third film.
Wait, is Shrek the Third the one that starts with the villain number in the bar?
Should I go to wikishrek.com? I think I should.
I think we need to
Do
know.
you know what I'm talking about? There's a bar scene in the beginning of one of the movies, and it's all of the villains singing this number, and Charming is there. It would make sense for it to be Shrek the Third because he's not in Shrek 4.
We're piecing it together. We're unlocking some deep
I'm
memories.
leaving all of this in the final edit.
I'm glad. This is important information.
I'm 99% certain that that's what it is. What is the plot?
Justin Timberlake plays someone in the movie. Sorry, just
Imagine.
I'm reading.
Imagine being Justin Timberlake.
Okay, so Fiona's dad falls ill.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they sing that song. He dies.
Shrek feels like he's not fit to be king or something. I don't know, I'm reading very fast. There's another heir who can become the new king of Far, Far Away, Arthur, who's Justin Timberlake.
Oh,
So he tries
Yeah,
to bring
King
back
Arthur.
the new king with Donkey. Let's see. Then Shrek starts to have nightmares when he's finding Arthur, or prefers to be called Artie, is a scrawny 16-year-old who likes to play Dungeons and Dragons.
what is this movie?
I don't know.
This is a fever dream.
Okay, I need like
The bad guy
Spark Notes,
nightmares?
Like this is
Who's the bad guy?
I'm still not there yet.
Strikes
Okay.
nightmares.
Meanwhile, a revenge-lusted Prince Charming has gone to the Poison Apple, where he can encounter...
Which is the bar.
great
Which is
villains,
the
including
bar.
Captain Hook, blah, blah, blah. Although they initially despise him, blah, blah, blah. They
So
join
it's
him.
Prince Charming.
So it's Charming.
Charming and the other villains invade far, far away and attack the palace.
I
So,
remember
fuck
that.
Prince Charming.
I remember that now that you're saying it. I do remember the invasion of the palace.
Or like kind of.
Yeah.
Charming tries to kill Artie. Damn.
But that, correct me if I'm wrong, is not the movie with the princesses, right?
I don't see anything about princesses.
Because I just remember, do you know that one scene of Snow White with the and then she's You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Is that Shrek 2 or 3? I just know the princesses.
Man, I can't tell you.
Dude, they're all one movie at this point.
Shrek.
Shriek.
Okay, fun fact. Gingy and Rumpelstiltskin's played by the same guy. Pinocchio and the Three Little Pigs are all played by the same guy. Just in case you were wondering. But in this movie, it does say that Snow White, Rapunzel, Cinderella, and Sleeping Beauty are all in it. And I feel like I should say this because these are two queens. Snow White is played by Amy Poehler, God bless. And Rapunzel is played by Maya Rudolph, God bless.
Okay, so that is the movie with the princesses.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sold.
Okay.
All right, we solved
It's
it.
still a bad movie.
Yeah.
The worst
Clearly.
one yet.
Obviously.
But it has some good moments. I'll give it that. But it's no How to Train Your Dragon. Or Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda.
It's a magical movie.
It is a magical movie.
It doesn't ever get old.
Though when Oogway dies, sobs every time.
Have you seen Chop Kick Panda?
He just scared the shit out of me.
No.
Adam has a bootleg version of Kung Fu Panda.
And I bought it so fast. Anyways,
I'm very proud of you, Adam.
well, I'm telling you, you gotta watch Chop Kick Panda. Or What's Up, which is a parody of the movie Up. Not a parody. it's
Stop.
just
Up makes me cry.
And
Up
Happy
makes me
Toes.
cry.
Tappy Toes is Happy Feet, but
It's a
bootleg.
bootleg Happy Feet.
Where are they coming from?
Walmart.
Walmart. The dollar store.
We were at Goodwill the other day and I can't triangulate our location. We were at a Goodwill in a place in the state of Louisiana, and we found some weeaboo had been there, and we found like VHS tapes.
What is a weeaboo?
Someone obsessed with Japanese culture and like anime.
It was the way you
video
looked at
games.
me.
Okay.
The way you looked at me.
I'm
with
sorry.
such
I just
interest.
need to know all the details.
No, it was funny. I
Thank you,
enjoyed it.
Emily.
You're welcome.
It's someone who's like way too obsessed with Japanese culture. But some weeaboo had obviously been there because we found like DVDs of anime and also VHS tapes of
Love a good
anime.
VHS.
Wow, that's been around.
Okay, but what kind of animes were they?
So we found
Any
Spirited
notable
Away and Princess Mononoke,
Okay.
and then we found Full Metal Alchemist and like some other stuff.
Wait, that's the one you were just watching. No, that's the one Luis was just watching. Full Metal Alchemist.
Is he watching Full Metal Alchemist or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood?
Brotherhood, the one that was on Netflix.
Good.
It literally
they're
took
both
him
on
like, oh, well, maybe both.
What happened with that is that they made Full Metal Alchemist, and then
It was bad.
well, it was bad because it was based off of a manga, which is a Japanese comic book. It was based off of the comics, and then it caught up to the comics. But instead of stopping, they just kept going, and they just made shit up.
Excuse me?
So it became really
quite rude.
different. Yeah. So they remade it as Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood with the manga.
Okay.
Yeah. It was really funny because me and my sister were watching it at the same time, but we didn't realize that we were watching different ones.
So when it like splits off.
Yeah, because the
Confused.
first season or so is the same. So we were like, oh, you remember this happened? Yeah, I do remember that. I was like, oh, and this guy. And she was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
that? Nah,
No,
he
that
literally
didn't
watched them
happen.
all in like 2 days and then tried to give me a whole plot of them one day when he was driving me to work.
Did he tell you about the dead
It's a
dog?
10-minute drive. No.
No.
You just really just
Don't talk
dropped
about
that.
dead dogs.
Everyone talks about that episode. I'll talk to Louise. I'll find
I
him.
don't want to hear it.
It's a fucked up episode. I won't watch it. Lucille
I
caught
want a
up.
dog so bad.
Get
I
one.
want
And
a
I'm
dog.
going to name him Mojito.
That's beautiful.
I know.
They're gonna get a dog named Kevin.
Oh, we got our new apartment. It's still right across the street from you.
Oh, okay.
And it's even bigger. And guess what?
It's not owned by Phil.
It's not. but we have a back patio.
Whoa.
So we can have parties there now.
Is it still a 1-bedroom?
No, 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath. No carpet, bitch.
Perfect for a nursery.
Not yet.
It's that one John Mulaney bit.
Yeah, no, I knew where you're going.
This is an on fire garbage can. Could be a nursery. Did you see that Bo Burnham is coming out with a new bit? Or a new stand-up show?
Are you talking about the BoJack Horseman? I'm very lost right now.
That was a really funny sentence. No, Bo Burnham.
Who the fuck is that?
He's a comedian, but he's young. So his whole thing was he got famous on YouTube for doing like funny songs and all this stuff. And he has 2 comedy specials on Netflix, but 3 in total. They're all really good. But his whole thing is like he's really introspective. So like his first comedy show, his backdrop was the script of the show.
Oh wait, he looks familiar.
Yeah.
I think Luis watches him.
He's super popular. But he did a show years and years and years ago called Make Happy. And it was kind of like, with every show, you can see him get more and more depressed. And his whole thing is that he hates entertaining because he hates having to sell out, essentially. So his whole last song was that. He did this whole bit about going to Chipotle and putting too much shit inside of his burrito, and it was a big-ass metaphor for his career and how he bit off more than he could chew.
It's a little depressing.
It's really fucked up.
It reminds me of the dude y'all talked about on YouTube who like you could see him getting depressed in the videos.
Mr. Anime.
Yeah, the difference is
Mr.
Bo
Anime.
Burnham doesn't kill anyone.
Well, that's always good.
Yeah, but hold on. I want to show you the end of his. It's my favorite bit, and every time I watch it, I cry. So I might cry. And after that, he said he would never do comedy again. And he has a special coming out in 7 days for the first time in a really long time.
Like a Netflix special where there's like nobody there.
He made it himself in his bedroom over quarantine. So we have no idea if it's even going to be comedy.
Well, he might not even be like feel like he might not even feel pressured to like.
Right. I hope not. He directed a bunch. He was in A Very Promising Young Woman recently, which it's a really good movie, but most men hate it. It's a really good movie, but he was in that, and he also directed some stuff. So like he took a break. He's better, hopefully.
I want to hug him.
That was my senior quote. Was "Thank you, good night. I hope you're happy," because that show messed me up a lot.
I'm emotional now.
Yeah, and I think that that's the perfect segue into the actual podcast. Like we've been going for a while.
I'm scared.
Okay. So on that note, I have to go first.
You do have to go first.
Give it to me, baby.
I asked Emily a few days ago what her vibes were to give to you, right? Because I didn't want to come in here and like tag team your ass with some trauma. And she told me hers is like, it's on the heavier side. So I was like, oh, I should balance it out. Like I should give you something weird, right?
Okay.
And so I picked my topic and I got to thinking, does this topic spark joy? Does this topic satisfy my need to scare the shit out of Aaron? And the answer to both of those questions was no.
Okay.
So instead of balancing Emily's energy, I decided to match it.
Oh, yes.
So usually I give Emily some hints, so I'm going to give you both some hints. So this case is, it has inspired a slew of very famous horror movies. To this day, it's described as one of the most disturbing cases of all time. Why? Because the whole thing is on video.
I hate it. Already, I hate it.
Do you have any idea what
Not a
I'm going
damn
to talk
clue.
about? Not even a guess?
What kind of video? What do you mean video? Like, they like live recorded this shit?
Something like that.
Was it the man that drove into Target?
No, but that would be a great episode. I'm going to talk about the exorcism of Anneliese Michel.
Oh.
I'm going to go home now.
It's fucked up, dude. It's a lot.
Why is it on video?
Because they recorded this shit. It's fucked up. I'm gonna play some clips for you today too. I edited them all so they're convenient little packages
I'm
of
so excited.
a
but I'm
demon
so
child. So this first of all, it didn't inspire The Exorcist. The Exorcist is based off of a different case of a little boy in Maryland. This case inspired The Exorcism of Emily Rose, which is a very famous horror movie.
I feel like I've seen that, but I'm not super
It's fucked as
familiar
up.
with it.
It's not my favorite, but I mean, I also knew about the real case, and the real case is real messed up.
Oh God. Okay.
Let's get into it, okay?
Oh, I'm about to die.
So, so September of 1968. Nope. Hold on.
My mom was 8 years old then.
I like that you just did that math that fast.
I mean, 1960 and 1968 aren't too hard to.
No.
Now, if you would have said like 1972 and 1963,
Why is that different?
I'd be like, wait,
Why is
How
that
does it count?
different?
because I'm not fast with the maths. But the only difference between 1960 and 1968 is one number, and it's the 8. So she was 8 years old in that year, depending on what time of year it was. She was born in July, a Cancer, which terrifies me. Moving on.
I hate.
Moving on.
I gave you the wrong year. So some people also say Michel, but I say Michelle because it looks like Michelle. So Anneliese Michel is born in 1952 in Klingenberg, Germany, to her parents Joseph and Anna. She's raised strictly Catholic, along with her 3 sisters. Technically, there was 4, but whatever. They went to Mass twice a week, sometimes even during weekdays. She's bright. She's well-liked by her peers when she's young. Her family owned and operated a business. Her older sister did die at the age of 8 due to complications during a kidney surgery, which did make Anneliese the oldest. But other than that, she had a completely normal childhood. No trauma.
Going to church twice a week does not sound like a normal childhood.
Okay, so maybe a little bit of religious trauma sprinkled in there.
Okay.
But she wasn't, like, abused.
Well, that's
Well,
good.
maybe by the church.
Anyway.
She was normal for the most. She did get sick a lot. Like, she had mumps and measles before she turned 5, but she recovered well.
She didn't get the MMR.
The what?
The MMR vaccine.
Oh.
Ugh.
But, so September 1968, she's 16 years old, and she experiences what we now call one of her episodes for the first time. So she's with her friend. She completely loses consciousness for a few minutes. And later that evening, like she wakes up, she gets back home, whatever. Later that evening, she feels a pressure on her chest, like something is like on top of her, pushing down. And she freaks out. She's so afraid that she wets the bed. And then she goes and tells her mom.
Well,
And her mom is like, it's fine, it'll pass. Looking back on it now, it was probably sleep paralysis, but back then they didn't really know what that was. So August of 1969, so about a year later, she experiences another one. Same exact thing happens. She loses consciousness, and then that night she experiences a bout of some sort of paralysis, stiffness, can't move her body, freaks the fuck out. This time, though, they take her to a doctor because they're like, hey,
something's up.
Something's up. It's a little strange. This doctor, this doctor recommends her to a neurologist.
You were throwing words.
Okay. A neurologist named Dr. Lucy. They examined her. They even did a brain scan, but everything was fine. So they thought she was having some form of seizure, but like her brain was fine. So they didn't really know what was going on. They didn't give her any medicine though, because everything was fine with her brain. So she goes back to school as normal, but she just has even more medical issues. Like she gets pneumonia at a point. She was moved to a hospital in January of 1970, and then a clinic for lung issues in young people. And throughout the whole thing, she becomes even more devout in her faith. Like, she starts praying more and talking more about her faith and God and all this stuff.
Have you met our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
Essentially, that is who we are talking about.
Okay.
Did you just sniff the mic?
Maybe.
Okay. I'm sorry we're holding you hostage. We're definitely running late than we
I'm
thought.
having to grot Tim.
Grot?
Have you never seen The Vine?
No.
You're a TikToker, not a Viner.
Yeah, I was
Stupid
I was-
young people.
You're like,
Get me out of here.
you're 3 years older than me. Okay. So over the next 3 years-ish, she'll have 2 more episodes. So one of these episodes was in 1970. She was at a psychiatric hospital at this point, and she had another seizure-like episode. But this time they actually give her something for it. They give her a drug to stop convulsions. But she is also reported saying that she saw devil's faces everywhere throughout the day. Her 4th episode was in 1972, and then it's an anti-seizure medication. It's called Valentin is prescribed to her, even though like there's nothing showing in her brain. But they were just trying to get it to stop, essentially. With each episode, every time she would get another EEG, she would get another brain scan, and everything would come back completely normal. There was like maybe one time when there was a minor abnormality, but other than that, there was nothing weird. So at some point in time, she was also prescribed a medication that it treats various like psychosis, including schizophrenia, disturbing behavior, and delusions. So they're just pumping this kid full of medication because they don't know what's wrong, so they're trying to check all the boxes. By 1973, she's suffering from severe depression, and she's hallucinating a shit ton, especially when she's praying. So
I don't like that.
Yeah. She starts hearing voices saying that she was damned, and that she would rot in hell. And she also reportedly kept getting very frustrated about medical intervention. Like, her whole thing was like, you're not actually doing anything. Like, I don't want you to... My problem is not medical, was her thing. She also couldn't stand the sight of sacred places or holy objects.
Even though she was super religious?
Mm-hmm. So I explained it a little bit later, but she goes in and out of lucidity. Like, so sometimes she's lucid and aware of what's going on, and she, in those moments, is like very religious, very devout, whatever, very sure of her faith. But in these episodes that she's having, she can't stand it.
Okay.
So in 1973, she graduates high school. She's described by her classmates as withdrawn and very religious. And by 1973, later, things took a weird turn. So she starts hearing knocking sounds in her bedroom at night. And her sisters hear the same thing. So it's something. But Anneliese has not stopped hearing the voices. And her mom specifically, because her mom is the more religious of her parents, her mom is so freaked out constantly. But specifically, her mom continues to tell this one story of she walked in on Anneliese staring at a statue of the Virgin Mary and her eyes were black. Yeah.
No, ma'am.
Anneliese told a psychiatrist that during this time she felt like she was in a deep hole and had multiple thoughts of suicide. Like, she was going through it. And there was also another incident at a shrine. So she was brought, her family friend, like, regularly organized, like, pilgrimages and brought her to a shrine of the Virgin Mary. And her escort concluded 100% that she was possessed. Like, no doubt. So I'm going to read you a thing. So this is from a separate person, but Fran is the person who took Anneliese. So it says, Anneliese told me, and Fran confirmed this, that she was unable to enter the shrine. She approached it with great hesitation, and then she said the soil burned like fire, and she simply could not stand it. She then walked in a wide circle around the shrine and tried to approach it from the back. She looked at the people who were kneeling in the area surrounding the little garden, and it seemed to her that while praying, they were gnashing their teeth. She got as far as the edge of the little garden and then had to turn back. Coming from the front again, she had to avert her glance from the picture of Christ. She made it several times to the garden but could not get past it, and also noted that she no longer looked at medals or pictures of saints. They sparkled so immensely that she could not stand it.
What?
She the devil.
Something like that. I really can't wait to get to the clips. Whoa, it did something on its own. And I was very scared.
Jesus, is that you?
You don't want me talking about this. Later that same year, she goes back to the neurologist, but this time she's talking about horrific visions of demons. She said she, quote, felt like the devil was inside of her. And she also reportedly could smell burnt feces. And this smell is also cited by other people around her at various times. So it wasn't just her.
Like, she smells like burnt feces.
Maybe.
She might need to shower.
Also, how do they know what that smells like?
Who was burning feces?
You know, the people in the BuzzFeed video asked the exact same question. You are Shane from BuzzFeed.
Hello, I am Shane.
So at this time, Anneliese's mom, who's the religious one, she's the one talking with Dr. Luthi about things she's been seeing to Anneliese. And according to her, Dr. Luthi advised her to consult a member of the church. Dr. Luthi says that didn't happen. But Anneliese's mom says that he told her to find a Jesuit. So
It's weird that it conflicts.
right. And
What's
that
a
happens a few more
Jesuit?
times. A religious official is what it said. I don't know what that is. I'm not religious. You're the religious one.
I'm not that religious.
Okay.
I was just raised in Catholic school. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend.
Leave a bad Yelp review.
Will do.
Okay. Regardless of whether it's true or not, though, they did seek out a priest. So Anneliese and her family, as well as like the community, everyone was convinced that she was possessed. So they sought out multiple priests asking for exorcisms, and they were turned away multiple times. So a lot of them were like, hey, no, just take the kid to a doctor. Like, I don't think, no.
That ain't the devil.
Yeah. And specifically, exorcisms, apparently you have to meet certain criteria. I didn't know this.
I actually heard something about that the other day. You have to get like they have like a priest, and then above the priest is
A bishop. You have to get permission from the bishop.
and then a pope. Like, you have to get all that shit approved.
Well, we were talking about with The Conjuring that they had to get it had to be approved at the Vatican because they weren't members of the church. Like, it was intense to do the exorcism.
Yeah. And it's similar. Like, you had to get permission from the higher-ups, but also to grant an exorcism, there has, because I also learned that there are apparently multiple kinds of exorcisms, whether a person is possessed or whether there's, just energy around you that's bad. It's easier to get those, to banish negative energy. But if you think a person is possessed, certain criteria have to be met before an exorcism can be granted. And she checks the boxes.
I don't like it.
I don't either. But so multiple priests turn them away, right? And they give them different advice. People say go to this doctor, people say go to that doctor, people say just pray more, people say she's probably not possessed, you're fine. Right.
What? You're fine. Everything's fine.
They get turned
Just deal
away
with
a
the
shit
burning
ton.
feces.
Right.
One of them, though, turns around and discusses Anneliese's situation with one of his friends. And this man is named Father Alt. And after he hears about Anneliese's situation, he has he feels this crazy intense connection to her family. And after that, he starts getting letters from both Anneliese and her mom. And he couldn't even read them because he felt so nauseous. Like, he felt a terrible feeling connected to this family. During Mass later that night, he also smelled something burning and, like, felt a burning sensation on his hands and got nauseous again. So he wasn't one of the ones that the Michel family contacted. He found out through an external source, but he sticks around until the bitter end from this point. So despite all of Anneliese's issues, she still goes to college. Bitch writes a thesis, okay? She's going.
Scholarly bitch.
She's studying education and theology, and she wants to teach religion to little children. And she has regular communications with Father Alt. She still has visions, though, and depression. And Father Alt suggests stricter religious lifestyles along with regular visits to the doctor, is what he tells her to do. Pray hard and go to the doctor. So on one meeting, though, later, he declares that she didn't look epileptic and he didn't see her having any seizures. So he doesn't think she's sick. He just is also not allowed to give an exorcism.
Yeah.
Like, he fully believed she was possessed, and it's only aided because Anneliese actually wrote to him, quote, "I am nothing. Everything about me is vanity. What should I do? I have to improve. You pray for me." She also wrote, "I want to suffer for other people, but this is so cruel." That.
Excuse me? Bitch, I can't handle my own pain.
You don't want to suffer for others?
I mean,
That's
no.
a lot.
You don't want to get possessed?
No, not really. Jesus Christ is my homie.
That's the name of this episode.
Shout out to JC.
I need you to know my brain auto-corrected that to J. Cole.
I mean, also shout out to J. Cole. His new album is Chef's Kiss.
I hate this.
No, but JC, Jesus Christ.
I get it now.
My homie.
Jesus Christ is my
Okay.
homie. In November of 1973, she sees a Freudian psychiatrist. She's diagnosed as neurotic with possible epilepsy. She also is told that she has epileptic patterns. And this is when they took her off of the anti-seizure medication and they put her on Tegretol, which is much stronger and is also supposed to help with her mood, to help the depression. So it's suppressing the seizures and also helping her mood.
It's 2-in-1 kind of thing.
Essentially.
Okay.
It's a 3-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, body wash.
Love those.
No. No, never trust a man who has that in his shower. As this is happening, she's seeing more and more doctors, and her brain scans even the little abnormalities are going away. Her brain is getting more and more and more normal and healthy as time goes on, and her symptoms are getting worse, which
So weird.
something's not adding up. It was around this time that Father Alt sent in his first formal request for an exorcism. He was denied, and the bishop encouraged him to be patient while still helping Anneliese, is what he's told. He's told, stick around, but you can't exorcise the kid.
Oh, just watch.
Yeah.
Just watch her be miserable
So-
and depressed.
She's still taking her medication. She starts a prayer group at school. Like, she's still working and still doing, like, she's normal sometimes. But sometimes she just goes into these
But
fits.
sometimes the devil's just like, hey, I'm going to take over your body.
No, that. Literally. Like, sometimes she just goes into these fits of, like, screaming and all this stuff. It's a lot. And by June of 75, she'd occasionally lose control over her body completely. She'd start throwing things at her friends. She was convinced that she was doomed to hell. She took down all of her religious pictures and occasionally told her friends to stop praying because it hurt her.
Ooh.
And then when Father Alt came to visit and pray with her, she ripped his rosary to pieces. And this is when he told her family, like, she cannot stay in school. You have to come get her.
This is a lot.
Yeah. One day she's taking a walk with, at that time, was her boyfriend. She drops to her knees.
Boys weren't scared of her?
No, because she'd be normal completely sometimes. But one day on a walk, she drops to her knees and is unresponsive for 10 minutes. And when she woke up, she said that she was finally free and that she'd seen the Virgin Mary. So, and the same thing happens again 2 months later. She's unresponsive, but she claims she was visited by the Virgin Mary, who said that there were so many young souls in Germany who were lost and that she could do penance for those souls to help save them. So she had 3 days to decide on this agreement. And in the meantime, she brought it up to her parents. She's like, hey, I had these visions, and the Virgin Mary said that I can do penance for the lost souls of Germany. What do you think I should do? Her mom was legit terrified. Was like, no, you absolutely cannot do this under any circumstances. So obviously, she says yes. Because what else is she going to do?
Because fuck your mother.
Rebellious teenager.
So, by July of 75, her behavior only went downhill. She hardly slept. She prayed all night. She ate spiders and flies. She even once licked her own urine off of the floor.
Just a taste.
Oh, no.
She destroyed rosaries, crucifixes, and holy images. She also exhibited strength that was, quote, close to superhuman. She threw her sister, quote, as if she was a rag doll.
Oh, no.
She also once squeezed an apple in one hand until, quote, fragments exploded throughout the room.
She exploded an apple?
And fun fact, superhuman strength is one of the criteria that have to be met in order for an exorcism to be performed.
So why wasn't we getting there?
So, Father Alt sends in another request, this time for a minor exorcism. This is done when it's believed that a negative force is influencing people's decisions but not necessarily possessing them. It was granted, but the whole time he was performing it, she moaned and groaned and told him that he was burning her. And after this, there was little to no relief for her. She slept for maybe an hour a night, but barely even that. She'd shout for mercy for hours at a time. She would kneel and stand over and over again. I forget what that's called. That's a thing.
Genuflect?
Yes. And
Catholic school coming in clutch.
And then she kept eating bugs. She really liked those bugs.
Crunch.
And then when people tried to help her, she'd say that helping her would only force her to go through something worse.
Oh, no.
So she also couldn't pray sometimes. She said that there was an invisible force stopping her, and when prayers were read, it felt like her hands were in a wasp's nest, is what she said. So a different priest, his name is Father Rodewick, reported that he thought Anneliese was possessed. And he's also an expert on exorcisms, so his opinion mattered a little bit more. So all of the priests who had been around her came together. It's like, we're going to combine what we think about this girl, and we're going to send in one mass request for an exorcism. So it's finally approved under the condition that it was totally secret.
Okay.
The bishop said you can do it, but total secrecy.
Like they're going to print it in the newspaper?
I don't fucking know.
Everybody already knows.
Right, the
Right.
whole community thinks
That bitch crazy.
she eats bugs, dude.
She licks pee.
That. So the exorcism, the first of many, is carried out by a man named Father Renz on September 24th of 1975. So there were multiple people in the room with her, including her parents, 4 priests, her sisters, her boyfriend, and a family friend. Before, she was completely normal. She's friendly, communicative. They're chit-chatting, having a great time. But as soon as the rites start being read, she becomes incredibly violent, even like lunging at the priest. She has to be held down for them to continue. The first session lasted 3.5 hours.
Nope.
And Father Renz allowed some of them to be recorded after the first one. And that's where I get to show you some of this. Okay, so it's all in German, but I found a video with it translated. Let me pull it up. It's fucking scary.
Yeah, I'm scared.
I just got like 1,000 times more creeped out.
Oh, you should be. Oh, no, it's
I
like...
don't want to know what she looks like.
It's just
But
the
also,
audio.
I know I'm going... Okay.
It's just the audio. So this is...
I know I'm going to Google it later.
The voice.
How old is she at this point? 1975.
1975. She was born in...
You said 1953?
52. What is that?
Hey Siri. 1975 minus 1952.
1,975 minus 1.
23 years old, and that bitch sounds like she's 90.
Mm-hmm.
It's smoked for 50 years.
Wait, okay, so she... Smoked for 50 years. So she said it's Judas.
So there's 6 of them in there.
Okay, so Judas is the one that betrayed Jesus.
Yes.
Cain is like the one who betrayed his brother, Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
Lucifer, the devil. Who else was it?
So
Hitler.
Nero,
Who is that?
a Roman emperor.
Was he bad or something? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then Hitler.
And then Hitler. So the thing with it, like she said that she lied about the last one. Where is the
Who was the
list?
last one? Hitler?
The last one's Lucifer. So the list she gives is I, Judas, Nero, Cain, and Hitler. That's 5 of us. Who is the 6th? We lied about him. Lucifer, you lied about him? ? So the 6th person that she gives that she doesn't name in that clip is Valentin Fleischmann. He's a priest from the 1500s who was excommunicated from the church for literal murder and also like adultery and all this other terrible shit.
Love it.
The thing that's fucked up about him specifically, though, is she gave really weird details about this person. Details that there's no way she could have known. And that shocked Father Alt to a point. Also, Adam, I know you didn't, that was in German, because he was looking. He did not understand that. What she said was, I have a right to be in this woman. I will carry this brat so long until she croaks this dumbass bitch. For us, there's no coming back, never for all eternity. They ask her to say her name, and she says, I, Judas, and Nero, and Cain, and Hitler. That's 5 of us. Who's the 6th? We lied about him. Lucifer, you lied about him. And then I also have another clip. So...
Who was the other woman talking at the very end?
Don't know. It could have been, there was so many other people in the room. It
I
might
don't
have
know
been
if
her
it said.
mom.
Okay.
But she also had 3 sisters who were in the room. So it's one of them. We just
Okay.
don't know who. So so there was 6 people in total supposedly inside of her. She would speak as different 6 people, right?
Okay.
So sometimes it would be Lucifer talking, and then
Mhm.
sometimes it's Nero and whatever. So I have another clip for you.
Hate the noise.
It's worse that the screen is black.
So
Who's Würzburg? What is that?
it's a place in Germany. Unclear of who she was talking about. That she might have been talking about like a doctor. Don't know. But yeah, there are hours upon hours of these clips, right? And each of them is worse than the last. And it only gets worse with time, right? And depending on who's talking, they'll talk about different things. Weirdly enough, Lucifer is the calmest of the bunch. Huh. So when it's Lucifer who's fronting, it's more of like a conversation. Those are the weirdest ones because she'll talk about opinions of the church. So like at one point she talks about how like there's not enough people praying and that holy water needs to be brought back into the home. Like it's really weird. And then at other times she's narrow and she's screaming about how she's going to take this dumb bitch until she dies. Yeah, it's a whole lot. And I have a bunch more for you, but
I keep getting the chills.
You want to see what she looks like?
Kind of, but also I might see it in my dreams tonight. So.
Oh, you will.
She creepy?
Towards the end, yeah. So this is what she looked like normally, right? Normal kid.
Cutie patootie.
And then this is what she looked like. This is what she looked like towards the end. Nope.
No.
Wow.
That's an ad.
Oh. Why her eyes look like that?
So I explain more later, but she starts hurting herself at points.
God.
But yeah. So that is only like I said, they didn't record the first exorcism, but they recorded many more after that. And
so clearly the first one didn't take.
Yeah, something like that. But so supposedly though, the Virgin Mary could control the demons at times. And during these occasions specifically, it'd be a lot like calmer. Like she'd have them under control, but only sometimes. And other times they'd be like throwing Anneliese against walls and shit.
Like physically?
Yeah.
Huh.
So Anneliese also claimed that she could speak directly to the Virgin Mary. And the Virgin Mary supposedly told Anneliese that the Judgment Day was close and that she needed to work to save as many souls as possible. So she'd have these bouts of lucidity between exorcisms, and she'd study religious texts and specifically learning about the idea of suffering. And she came to the conclusion that God allowed these demons to enter her because suffering transformed the soul, is what she thought was happening to her. She believed that she had to suffer. And the Virgin Mary told her that this would end come October, and the demons confirmed it. They said, yes, October is the end. So October 31st comes. And one by one, each of the 6 demons are exorcised. And at first, it seems like she's fine, that she'd recovered, but then she starts growling and screaming, and a new identity comes forth, one that they hadn't met before. And from that point on, the rest of this session, which went until about 4 a.m. or something crazy, is trying to exorcise this new demon. Throughout November and December, she keeps working on her fucking thesis like a goddess while she's being possessed.
Lucifer possessed me a while ago, but I got business. So.
That. And it sucks because because of whatever this new identity, we still don't even know. It wasn't named. Because this new identity couldn't be exorcised, the rest of them came back. But the thing is, they said that they did not want to be there anymore. Told people.
So they were like tied to it.
Mm-hmm. They were stuck. And supposedly they couldn't stand it anymore, but they were being forced to stay in her body.
That one drunk bitch that doesn't want to leave the bar.
What an excellent analogy, actually. Yes.
And you never know their name either.
And yeah, okay. But from February onwards, the demons even stopped talking during sessions. She would just scream the whole time. And by March, she was becoming really messed up physically, too. She wouldn't eat, and she also said that she wanted no medical attention. The only thing that could help her was prayer. So, she told Father Alt, though, May and June would be really tough, but July would bring resolution. So May comes, right? It's the worst yet. She'll bang her head against the wall for hours at a time. She'd also bite herself and others. And she ran through a glass door, which caused her left eye to be swollen shut. And then it got to the point where she had to be tied up so that she couldn't hurt anyone or herself. And probably the most dangerous, though, she refused to eat. And specifically, she said that she was, quote, not being permitted to eat.
Even when she was lucid?
Mm-hmm. She wasn't allowed to eat, period. She weighed under 80 pounds, but she showed weird amounts of strength whenever anyone tried to restrain her. So she's in her 20s, 80 pounds, but can still fight against multiple fully grown men, tying her down to exercise her. She kept insisting, though, that this would be over in July and that medical help was not necessary. So a month later, June of 76, her whole face was sunken in and she refused doctor's visits, even though she had crazy high fever. Later, June 30th, she has another exorcism. All she said during this one was, please, absolution. And then she asked her mom to stay with her afterwards because she said, quote, please, I'm afraid. So in the early hours of July 1st, she was found dead.
But July was
resolution.
Found where?
In her room.
Where was her mommy?
Don't know. All we know is that in barely July 1st, she died
In between the last exorcism.
in the early mornings of July 1st. She died of starvation at 24 years old. And at that point, she'd had 67 exorcisms. And when they found her, she weighed 68 pounds.
Whoa. Oh, my God.
Yeah. But
I have goosebumps.
one of the reasons that this case is so famous, besides the tapes, obviously, there's hundreds of them, is that this case went to court.
Against who?
Her parents.
They thought her parents were doing something to her?
So Anneliese's parents and the two priests were accused of negligent homicide.
For letting her starve?
So the case went to trial in 1978, and I'm going to give you the two sides, okay? So the defense formally submitted all of the tapes as evidence. They also had multiple eyewitness testimonies, and they were still arguing that she was completely possessed and that these tapes proved it. But the court never really took the possession seriously. Non-religiously, though, their argument was that Anneliese had been allowed to deny medical treatment. It was her right as a person to say that she didn't want to be treated. Exactly. She's an adult. So the treatments that she could have been given at the time, just to put it into perspective, would have been tranquilizing her or force feeding her or even electroshock therapy. So she had the right to say no to those things.
Yeah.
So a family friend testified that a few months before Anneliese's death, Anneliese had begged on her knees not to suggest medical attention. So she was begging her family friend, do not suggest medical attention to these people. Also worth noting that towards the end, Father Alt did actually seek out medical attention. He had a friend, Dr. Richard Roth, visit Anneliese on May 10th, so about a month, or 2 months before her death. But this doctor is quoted saying he did it out of, quote, scientific curiosity, not as a physician. So this guy's a fucking asshole, in short. And during his visit, he said that Anneliese had no external injuries, and he also said, he also allegedly, he denies this, allegedly said that there are no injections against the devil, is what he's quoted saying. Father Renz said something different, though. So two conflicting stories on the defense. Mm-hmm. He said that Anneliese had multiple bruises, swollen cheeks, and black eyes from self-injury, and there's pictures of it.
Yeah.
In May.
Yeah.
When he visited.
Well, the father has been, well, yes,
the doctor.
When the doctor had visited and the doctor was lying, is what he's saying. Father Renz had been there the whole time.
Ass.
Yeah, because he said he did it out of curiosity. And what the fuck kind of person? Anyway.
Well, at that point, he's not a credible doctor, so why are they even fucking listening to him?
Regardless, her autopsy said she had a healthy brain and no damage to cause any epileptic seizures, not even on a microscopic level.
Wow.
What the fuck?
So other weird things to note is that her pupils were weirdly dilated, and there were no ulcers on her body, which are frequently found in victims of starvation. But she had none. The court also didn't really take these things into account, though. They didn't really care.
Just pushed it to the side.
The prosecution argued that she had epilepsy and psychosis. They said that the parents and the priests were liable because they failed to act. So they said they could have saved Anneliese's life, and instead of doing that, they continued with like a false exorcism deal. They tore down the idea that she was possessed completely. The prosecution also ripped apart the credibility of Father Alt. They had 2 experts brought on that said Father Alt showed signs of schizophrenia.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
And it's important to note, though, that he wasn't the priest who was performing the actual exorcism. That was Father Renz.
Right.
He was just the one who was, like, with Anneliese most of the time. It's also important to note that the reason they're saying he has signs of schizophrenia are because of the supposed, like, religious things he was feeling, like the burning on his hands, the auditory hallucinations related to Anneliese. The prosecution also had something to say about her medication. So according to them, the medication was successful in stopping the seizures. They argued that the suppression of the seizures turned into, quote, a delusional psychosis associated with epilepsy. So they argued that because the seizures were being suppressed, it turned into psychosis.
It's like a build-up.
Exactly. So they argued that the exorcisms played into her fantasy and made the psychosis worse, which is why she only got worse even as her brain was getting better. And to add to that, that's why between exorcisms she would have like bouts of normal behavior, because when you weren't playing into it, she was getting better.
Oh, wow.
The problem with this is that her visions predate the medical suppression. So she was seeing demons and stuff before she was put on the medication in the first place. But if that was always kind of in the back of her head, it would make sense that that would be what the psychosis morphed into.
Yeah.
Because she was very religious. In the end, the court ruled in favor of the prosecution. They sentenced all 4, the parents and 2 priests, to 6 months of jail time. The priests also had a 3-year suspension, and they all had to pay for all of the court costs. The court ruled that Anneliese was unable to make decisions for herself and should have been forced to submit to medical care because she had psychosis.
Oh.
Yeah. But that's the exorcism of Anneliese Michel. You want to hear some more creepy shit?
I don't know.
Emily goes, yeah.
Like more recordings?
Yeah. You want to hear some? You don't have to say yes.
I do.
Okay.
But I do. I don't, but I do.
No, it's fucked up.
I'm sweating.
That's a crazy story.
So this is the one I...
Wait, okay. So they played some of these in court.
Yeah.
Did they think she was just fucking role playing? Like, I don't...
So psychosis is like you legitimately believe everything you're doing, right? So like, I don't know how to explain it. Help me.
Would it make sense that she had psychosis? Like,
Yeah. So
Yes.
they were arguing that she had psychosis as a result of the epileptic drugs.
So
Okay.
there's like a lot of different like offshoots of psychosis, but it's like stuff falls in a way that makes you fully believe it. So like there's
Have you ever
so
seen
you're
A
just like
Beautiful
delusional.
Mind?
yeah, you fully believe something that is
Yeah.
completely unrealistic, but like it's like believing that
Like the CIA is watching you, or like
it can
things
be
like
very
that.
conspiracy theory, like or like people were replaced by aliens.
Okay.
It's a lot of like you fully believe something, and anything that can be seen as evidence you take as hard evidence. So like I could see the like playing into it. She's
Yeah.
gonna believe that
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
build it stronger.
The thing that gets me is like, cool, like it makes sense medically to me. And those people should have been in jail. Like this is a terrible case of, in my eyes, like child neglect.
Right, like I know
Yeah.
damn well if I was 80 pounds at the age of 23, my
That-
mom would be shoving shit down my throat.
But how did she know things that she should not have known? You know,
Yeah.
like it's
You can play both sides.
yeah. And and I watched a lot of different videos, and it was really interesting to watch because you could tell which side people were leaning on. So I watched, like, the BuzzFeed Unsolved video, for example, really plays into the exorcism part. They fully, they omit information that argues against it. Like, Anneliese went to college. They don't mention that at all. They don't mention that for months at a time she was completely fine. Other videos I watched really downplayed the exorcism part of it and omitted the fact that she was banging her head against walls for hours at a time. So it was really interesting because, like, I took all those and mashed them together, and this is what we get, which is I'm so confused.
I was about to say a big butt
bit of both.
of confusion.
But, like, these, she sounds like a demon.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a 24-year-old girl.
No.
In any way.
She's talking about a rosary, by the way.
The growling is so crazy. That sounds like they have an animal in the room.
So she was talking about the rosary that he had, and she was
as
saying
a weapon.
And she kept saying it was a weapon against us. It's like they wonder why it goes on for hours. And
Her sisters?
mm-hmm. That's not a person.
Dude, her throat had to be destroyed. It's like,
And they would do this for hours.
That's what I'm saying. To make that noise for 5 minutes, I can't talk for the rest of the day.
What's the point of doing this for hours?
But then she does stuff like that. There must be obedience to the Pope. Why? I don't get it.
Yeah, if you're the devil, then what the fuck do you care the Pope about?
The pastors must preach again.
From the pulpit.
That was like saying preach fear, though. Preach fear that the devil exists.
And I cut it down a lot, but I'm pretty sure that this is the Lucifer character. But that...
Heretics.
Adam, do you need an intermission? Because you can do that while we're watching a demon.
I can't even picture that person making that noise.
And she's like 60 pounds, dude. Where'd the titles go? Oh.
There you
What abortion?
I don't know. It's nonsense. Like, genuinely. And it's...
Was she pregnant?
Mm-mm.
Are they just saying the abortion of the demons from her?
I guess.
Oh.
That makes sense.
The embryos.
Oh, never mind.
Well, that might be the demons. Do not reach the vision of God. I do appreciate, though, that, what?
Heaven?
Yeah.
Can't say that shit word.
And she can't say the word.
So she's saying embryo, like aborted babies.
Yeah.
Since they're not baptized, like it's a Catholic belief that if you're not baptized, you go to hell when you die.
But
Right.
she was saying that the
But she's
opposite
saying
was
that
true.
they go to heaven.
Right.
Have fun peeing.
Oh, we took an intermission. Bye.
You can't go alone.
Oh, and we're back. We took an intermission. We got Sour Patch Kids.
And barbecue chips.
And the vending machines were broken.
So I didn't get a Coke.
And Adam could not get water.
And he's dying now.
What
So we
time
got
does McDonald's close?
2.
We learned
Oh,
that
wait, yeah.
last night. It was lying though.
It was
It was
lying.
already closed when we got there, but it was before 2.
We got there at 1:30 and they were closed.
we
So we
don't
went
know
to
when-
Taco Bell.
We don't know when it really closes.
doesn't have Coke. They sell Pepsi.
Canes. You go to Canes. But the way I found this story was like, I mean I knew it already.
Okay.
Like,
I've
from when I
never
was younger.
heard anything about that story before.
So a great resource to find specifically ghost stories without going on a YouTube like hole,
Reddit.
BuzzFeed Unsolved. Like they make their videos are not great for content because they try and make it funny, but if you can get a name,
Then you can. Start.
yeah.
See, usually what I'll do is like I'll see something or hear like y'all will mention something or like I'll hear something, and I go, my favorite Wikipedia.
Yeah. I
And
love
then like
Wikipedia.
when you scroll to the very bottom of the Wikipedia page, it'll say like
Your sources, yeah.
similar stories.
Oh,
Yeah, related topics.
I use Wikipedia.
When this
sources all
bitch
the
did
time.
the Amato case, I think I was in Wikipedia for like 3 days.
That's such a good case.
That was one of my favorites, and the one,
What a strong opening.
what's her
too,
name,
'cause that's
Catherine
episode 1.
That
Knight,
was episode 1.
the meat curtain.
That fucking curtain.
Bitch, are you fucking kidding me?
I wrote it down like that, and I was like, they're gonna hate when I say it like that, so I have to.
I would have walked the fuck out and quit my job.
Dude. And my
We
favorite.
I don't know if it all got kept in, but we took a pause after
Oh,
I
yeah.
said it. There was like a whole break in here after I hit that mark.
I can't. I have more water than I thought.
But my I've said it a few times, but like forensic investigators, their history lists are real weird to me because like a lot of these people have worked on like John Bonet, JFK, the wood chipper case. Like, how have you
The
not
wood
quit?
chipper, that fucked me up.
How have you not quit your job at that point?
Yeah,
You've
how do you not be like,
investigated
"I'm
Because
done."
those people are the real psychos.
Yeah,
Psychos, they got a job.
you've
instead of-
investigated JFK, John Bonet, Casey Anthony. Like, at what point do you just call it quits?
Yeah, you're like, I'm done. I'm done with people forever.
And imagine being one of the people to like, I was watching this video the other day. It wasn't about Ted Bundy. It was about how they caught Ted Bundy. And specifically, I don't know if you know how they caught Ted Bundy, but through a whole series of events, they finally were able to pin him down on one murder, one, out of the hundreds he commit. And
I
this
thought
man,
you meant how did they physically catch him? And I
oh
was
no,
like,
so
oh.
he breaks out of jail. He steals civilian clothes, hides them in the ceiling, gets dressed, and walks out of prison, and then goes on the run for months. And in that time, he commits a slew of more assaults, rapes, whatever.
Living
He
in
gets
the
pulled
mountains.
over for a traffic violation. And what really got me was because it was an infographics show, because I love infographics because they're short and sweet. And even the infographics host was like, the cop that pulled him over had no idea that he was about to run the license of one of the most wanted fugitives in all of America.
Right.
Like, imagine being that guy and realizing
would've
that
shit my
later that
pants.
Ted Bundy was in the back of your fucking car.
I would have shit my motherfucking pants.
Yeah, no, you just take him over and have no clue, and then you watch the news later and like, so we got Ted Bundy, and you're like, wow, cool, I'm glad they got
Right.
him.
And then
they're
they
like,
show his picture.
and they're like, yeah, this man caught him, and you're like, that's me. Oh no.
Or like
Mom?
the guy that escaped Dahmer, Do you want to talk about one of Dahmer's
Jeffrey Dahmer?
victims? Yeah, he
Was
escaped.
it one of the first ones?
No. He had a
I don't know
hole
much
drilled
about-
into his head, so he was pretty far on.
Excuse me?
Yeah, that's what Dahmer did.
I don't know much about Jeffrey Dahmer except that he ate.
I
them.
know so much about Jeffrey Dahmer.
I never wanted to know much about Jeffrey Dahmer because I grew up with a girl who had that name,
Oh.
and her dad's name was just Jay, like
Absolutely not.
Jay. So I was like, I don't want to know anything about Jeffrey Dahmer because that's my friend's dad. My friend's dad is Jeffrey Dahmer.
Whoa.
I mean, it's not,
I know,
obviously,
but like trauma.
yeah.
To a child, it makes sense.
I think that was also the very first, like, serial killer I ever, like, knew of was Jeffrey Dahmer.
Dahmer is one of the ones, you know, like some people get really into like the JonBenet Ramsey case or whatever. I know so much about Jeffrey Dahmer, and it's all stored in my little brain, and sometimes I have to think about it, and I hate it every time. But Jeffrey Dahmer was trying to make a sex slave. So he would drill holes into people's heads and fill it full of boiling water
Why?
because he wanted what he wanted. So what he
Like,
did,
well, okay, let me not say why. What did he expect to come of that?
no fucking clue.
Was he just experimenting?
His goal was someone he could rape regularly without resistance.
Well, then it's not rape.
Exactly. But he didn't understand that. Like, he was also into, like, after death
So he just
stuff.
wanted something to just lay
He
there
wanted a
and take
warm
it.
body. Yeah.
Oh.
He was real fucked up. But one of his victims, like, escaped and ran, like, and there was blood
was a
running
man?
down his, yeah, because Dahmer was gay.
So he didn't do women?
No.
Not do women, but kill.
He did little boys and men. But there was like blood running down all of like this guy's legs, and he ran out and he ran into two women on a street corner. And he couldn't talk because there was boiling water literally in his brain. And Jeffrey Dahmer, and there was also a cop there at some point, whatever, through it. Like they were gonna call the police. And then Dahmer walks up and is like, "Sorry, my boyfriend's on drugs. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, he ran out. Like, we were in the stuff. I'm sorry he bothered you." Took him back upstairs. Dahmer didn't get caught until years later. Like, imagine being those people.
Fuck my drag. Bitch, what the fuck?
And it's like all those stories who have,
I'd have been like, sir.
all those people who have stories of like, I talked to Ted Bundy and could have been a victim and wasn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Like all
Like-
those girls at the beach that got
Mhm.
away.
It's so fucked up, dude.
I want to read the book that lady wrote about him. The one that worked with him.
My friend Dahmer.
Not Jeffrey Dahmer. Ted Bundy.
Oh.
Sorry. Sorry, that wasn't clear.
There's a lot of books about Ted Bundy.
I did not know that. It's the lady that worked with him for years wrote a book.
So not
like, The
as-
Stranger Beside Me or something like that. The
Was
Stranger
that-
Next to Me? Something.
I know what you're talking about. I thought it was his girlfriend though.
That I might be confused.
Because Ted Bundy had a long-term girlfriend, and she was the one to call the cops on him.
1980, written by Anne Rule. Yeah, that was the ex-girlfriend. That was
Yeah.
not the woman who worked
Which
with him.
also gets me. You're dating Ted Bundy,
Yeah.
and you're just not a victim.
Okay, but what about the woman who had his fucking child?
Also her, wasn't it? Oh, wait, no.
No, this was a lady who literally, like, they got married when he was, I think, in prison.
Yeah, I know what
And
you're...
she thought he was innocent the entire time until he confessed days before his
Yeah.
fucking death. And he has a daughter with her. And she's now, like, a grown woman. I literally was looking at her on Google today.
It gets me.
Her name's Rosa.
He was smart. Like, someone... Like, obviously you hear things about Ted Bundy, but you don't realize why he did what he did. Like, he represented himself. Yeah, we know all that. But he represented himself so that he wouldn't have to wear handcuffs in the courtroom.
No, this is the woman.
So that people
This
wouldn't
is the
look at
woman that
him
worked
and
with
see
him.
somebody who needed to be... Like, who deserved punishment.
A psychopath. It
Oh,
is
no,
the lady that
legitimately.
worked with him, not the ex-girlfriend that wrote the book.
Oh, shit.
The one that I'm talking about
Cool.
was the one that worked with
I
him
didn't
at
know that
that
was a
call
thing.
center. When he worked at the call center.
I'm going to have to read that. I also have to read the episode hasn't been released yet, but we just talked about a book about Manson. Manson is not our next episode,
Charles
though. But,
Manson.
but
He's crazy to me. Like, not, well, duh, he's crazy. But, like, I don't understand cults. Like, I don't get it. And, like, I didn't see it. I heard, like, the clip of the three girls walking down the hallway to the courtroom to, like, their murder trial shit. And they're singing songs. Like, happy as fuck. And
There's-
literally the next day was when they carved, like, fucking shit into their foreheads for him. How are you gonna be 20 years old and doing that shit?
In the Museum of
Crazy.
Death in New Orleans, they have a whole section on just Manson.
I've never been. Let's go.
Okay.
I want to go.
I
And
will
we can go
totally
to
do it. And we can go to Flamingo. Oh, well, it's New
Bleep.
Orleans. We just said Museum of Death, which is in New Orleans.
Okay, well, clearly we don't live in New Orleans.
Yeah, we don't live in the
Okay.
city. But
Flamingo, go. 10 out of 10 would recommend red beans and rice. Nut. Okay.
and their mimosas are real good.
Bitch. Don't get me started.
It's a date.
Emily, have you ever been?
No.
We're gonna go.
Okay. Next brunch date.
Tea?
All the way to New Orleans.
And then we go to the Museum of Death.
After mimosas.
A little drunk.
There was a cult though that was busted, not busted, but this woman said that they called her Mother God. It was busted like a few months ago that this happened, but
She
it's
was
been
the
around
leader?
for a while ago.
A
Yes.
woman? Love it.
They called her Mother God, and they believed that she had been alive for 5 millennia, but also that she was Donald Trump's daughter. And recently, they went into the facility and found her mummified remains and arrested everyone
Oh, God.
because she was dead for months and had been like a botched mummification done in someone's fucking backyard
Why would Donald Trump's daughter?
be 5 millennia old. I don't know.
I mean, he looks 5 millennia
Drink the
old,
Kool-Aid, bitch.
But, like, excuse me? Okay. I can't fathom that one.
That's some material for a garbage disposal episode.
What is that?
We talked about how we have all these cases that there's just not enough material on.
So just like a quick little boop.
Yeah.
We each do a bunch one episode.
Yes, please.
Yeah. And that was going to be one of mine, but I couldn't resist. A mummy?
Yeah.
It's in like fucking Utah.
You can do it again because it's garbage. So it's
Yeah,
just
you can
throwing
just
stuff
A
you
out
can
there.
just take
mummy?
it out of this one.
Or if you leave it in, just give more details next time.
A mummy in Utah.
Which one of them mummified her?
That's my fucking question.
They don't know. They arrested everyone.
No, they arrested a lot of people. Like, and specifically, they arrested her like successor. He called himself Father God, which is dumb.
Copycat.
And like,
Was
get
that
on,
Donald Trump's son?
I don't fucking know. All I know is that
How
there was
many
he's
millennia
in
was
jail.
How many millennia was he?
Like, absolutely not.
Mother
Imagine.
God.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I can't.
Nope.
I don't have the stomach for mummies. Are you going to talk about a mummy today?
No.
How unfortunate.
But
What
it's
are
so
you
funny.
talking about?
A stabbing.
Oh. A
Just
lot of
one?
those.
Just one stab?
Just one?
One person.
Who stabbed a lot of people, or one person who was stabbed?
One person who was stabbed.
What
Okay.
happened?
More than one time, though. It wasn't one stabbing. It was a couple of stabs.
Can I guess?
You can. Because you know what it is.
Is it the Slenderman?
Yep.
I fucking
The what?
I almost did Slenderman today, and then I almost did the that would,
Slenderman, the tall, creepy person?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I knew you would know what it is because they're the same age as me.
Yeah.
So this happened like as we were growing up into the same stuff.
It freaked my parents out
It freaked my parents out too. It was
because we
a
were
lot.
into this time.
We were into the same thing, Slender Man,
I have goosebumps.
and this stabbing revolves around our friend Slender Man.
Is this the first time someone has guessed right?
But Slenderman's fake, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's one of those scary noodles.
He's a creepypasta, yeah. So we've talked about it before, but he originated from a Photoshop contest of paranormal images in 2009. It was on a forum called Something Awful. So it was just some internet competition to make a creepy picture is the whole where he comes from. The myth part just kind of grew quickly from the photo that won from other people making games, art, fan fiction, and other online media. So it wasn't all the same person making the myth about him where he just kind of stalks the woods and kills people.
Was he supposed to be a real man?
He wasn't like a named guy or anything. It was
Okay.
just
a
It's
thing.
like think of him as like Bigfoot, but it
just
but
a creature that kind of just
you know how
exists.
people sexualize Mothman now?
No.
Oh,
Well, that's a
we're
thing.
on different sides of the internet. But like he's an urban legend, but he's taken the step over the threshold into mainstream. So
You've
like
seen a picture of him, right? He's a tall dude.
Here.
Slenderman? Yes,
Yeah.
I know what Slenderman looks like.
Yeah, with the suit and sometimes has like tentacles.
Yes,
out of his
Mothman
back.
I've never seen in my life.
Oh, he's got red eyes.
Slenderman, I'm familiar with what he looks like.
Yeah.
Like, I remember being a kid and looking at that shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's Mothman.
There's so many games.
Moths themselves freak me
And
out.
and he kind of became like the father of creepypasta culture.
Yeah,
Slenderman?
he was kind of. He's a good example of what creepypasta is. It was just some random thing that a billion different people made
He's so dumb.
their own art about. So the myth kind of grew from a bunch of people, not just one central dude
Right.
making it. Except it was one dude who made the picture.
Yeah.
Um.
He like adopts other
Do you have
creepypasta
the
figures though.
original photo?
Oh, like from the contest?
Mhm.
I can look it up. It was a collection of them, wasn't it?
Oh, I'm not sure. I just know it was the.
From if I'm
I
remembering
remember the one.
from if I remembering correctly, they just took a bunch they took a bunch of pictures of like playgrounds and other like crowded places and just photoshopped him into the background. So like I'm going to try and find it, but I can remember one really vividly of like a slide.
Wait, why don't I see it?
Here, let me find a better one.
Oh, wait. This one's pointing to it, so now I see it.
It's kind of fun because like other famous creepypasta figures like Jeff the Killer and Ben Drowned, Tiki Toby, like they're all just kind of like his children.
Yeah, they kind of. I talk about that a little later with Tiki
Sorry,
Toby.
here's the
No,
other one.
No, you're good. You can talk about it now.
That's the slide picture, so I was right. I can remember the slide.
That's the one I always think of. His whole thing is he just wanders the woods and stalks you and then kills you if he catches you.
That's good.
Is the myth of him. He, like you said, he's kind of the father of creepypasta and really blew it up. And there's also a lot of spin-offs from him. Like you were talking about, Tiki Toby is a proxy of Slenderman, so he kills in the name of Slenderman.
Okay.
So that kind of leads us into the real life stuff.
The real life stuff.
Here, this is what
Yeah,
Tiki
because
Toby
Slenderman
looks like.
is fiction, creepypasta.
Tiki Toby is
Scary
cool. He's a
noodle.
cutie patootie.
He is one of my favorite creepypastas. But
That's Tiki Toby.
his whole thing was he went crazy and started
cute.
working for Slenderman. He was
Yeah.
a proxy for Slenderman.
Okay.
Emmy
Our-
likes him. She got a hatchet.
Yeah.
When she was young because she wanted to be Tiki Toby.
Yeah, I had
Who?
a hatchet.
A
You?
fucking
Yeah,
hatchet.
because you were like Jeff the Killer for Halloween, so like the next year I was like, I'm gonna be Tiki Toby.
And then your mom was like, no, you can't bring the hatchet trick or treating.
Could
do
you
that.
imagine trick or treat with a bloody ass fucking hatchet?
I want to stuff the killer.
Yeah, with the fake bloody knives that like when
Yeah.
you flipped upside down, it made the fake blood.
And Mel was a little sister from BioShock.
Love
That was a
Not-
good year for Halloween.
Shout out Mel.
Who was Jane? Was somebody
Jane.
Jane the killer?
Was
At
it your
one
twin
point-
sister?
There was one
No.
year where Ashley and I went as Ash and Pikachu.
Why do I remember like two people going?
Ash and
as
Pikachu
Jeff-
are
I
not
don't know.
scary.
Melody went as Dr. Smiley one year for Comic-Con.
Maybe I'm remembering that. I don't remember.
Side note, were you Pikachu?
No, I was Ash.
Hate that.
We're-
Side note, were you Pikachu?
The real stuff revolves around three girls named Morgan Geyser, Anissa Weir, and Peyton Lutner. I'm just going to refer to them by their first names, but those are their full names. On May 31st, 2014, in Waukesha, Wisconsin, or however you say it, but it's in Wisconsin somewhere.
Wisconsin is not a real state.
Exactly. Bad stuff happens in Wisconsin.
And it's all fiction.
This one's not fiction.
No, Wisconsin isn't real, so
Oh.
anything that happens there is made up. Have you ever met someone from Wisconsin?
No.
Exactly, because it's not real.
I don't think so.
Neither is Washington State or Montana.
I forget Montana exists so much.
Good.
What about New Hampshire?
They can stay. Michigan is only real because of Big Time Rush.
I love Michigan. Shut your damn mouth.
Big Time Rush. What? Oh.
Okay, anyway. On May 31st, 2014, the three girls went to a local park called David's Park, and it's not like a playground park, it's mostly woods and forest. They made it way into the woods and decided to play hide and seek. During the game, Morgan and Anissa pin down Peyton. One of them pulls out a kitchen knife with a 5-inch blade, and they proceed to stab her 19 times.
Why?
In the name of Slenderman. They wanted to become a real-life proxy for Slenderman, like all these creepypastas. So they thought if they sacrificed other people to Slenderman, that he would be this real thing that would take them on as proxies.
That was their friend.
Yeah.
What year did this happen?
2014.
And you said they're y'all's age?
Yeah, they were 12, 13 when this happened, and I was 12, 13. They did this as 12-year-olds.
I was 14 when that happened. I remember this case.
They were 12 when
Our
this
parents were
happened.
freaked the fuck
I was 12,
out.
13, right at the same age.
Our parents were freaked the fuck out.
We weren't allowed to read creepypasta for a while, and then
Yeah.
we kind of just snuck back into it, and
Oh,
they kind
yeah.
of were like, whatever.
Because the internet.
Yeah.
Okay, but don't let your 12-year-olds go to places by themselves.
Yeah, or
Or bring a kitchen knife.
Yeah, how the fuck you just walk out of your house with a whole ass kitchen knife?
yeah.
My mom
I
would have
could
noticed
never.
2 seconds later.
Yeah.
My mom would be calling, "Where's the kitchen knife?"
I don't see it in the dishwasher.
You see, my
Is it in your friend's chest?
19 times?
You're grounded.
Aaron.
Oh no.
Fuck.
Two of the wounds damaged major organs. What I was reading didn't say which organs. One stab hit both the liver and stomach, because your liver's over your stomach, and one stab missed a major artery of the heart by less than 1 millimeter. She would have died if it hit that.
She didn't die?
Nope. That's why it's just a stabbing.
Yeah, it's just a stabbing. But
I kind of
did
wish
not-
for her sake that she would have died. Think of all the pain.
We get into her recovery.
You gonna get stabbed 19 times in the woods? We can do that at brunch.
Oh,
Fuck you.
I couldn't believe that though. The 1 millimeter.
That's-
less than 1 millimeter. This
The
much.
Do you think they
likelihood-
knew where they were stabbing, or they were just
They
being-
were
were
just-
12.
Yeah.
So
they
one
were
of them
just-
was holding her down and the other one was...
Nobody knows because they were just in the woods.
Yeah.
They don't even for sure know which one of them did the stabbing, if it was both of them,
Yeah.
who pinned who, how it happened. You just have to hear it from their three recollection of it, and one of them's being stabbed, so they don't really know which one's stabbing.
The one getting stabbed is who? Morgan?
Peyton.
Peyton. Okay.
Morgan and Anissa, however you say her name, are the two bad guys.
The two
That-
13-year-old
Yeah.
murderers.
They tried.
They succeeded somewhat.
Yeah,
They
no.
got her to the woods.
After a video game character.
And got her fucking shish kebabbed
Hey, you want to go play in the park so I can stab you to death?
19 times.
1 millimeter from your heart?
Major artery.
Awesome, let's go.
The two girls leave Peyton in the woods at David's bar. Obviously, they're fleeing, but they apologize to her and say, "We're going to go get help," and then just leave. And they
What
were never
a-
going to go get help.
Well, no shit.
What a bunch of little bitches.
Yeah, they
I
just fled.
guarantee one of them, at least one of them, was a horse girl.
They were creepypasta nerds.
No,
man.
before that. They evolved. One of them was that kid at the fucking recess who pretended to be a warrior cat.
A horse proxy. Now they're a Slenderman proxy.
I swear to God. I don't like these people. Well, I mean, obviously.
Yeah, they're bad people. But despite her injuries, Peyton didn't just pass out. Because if I was stabbed 19 times, I would black out.
She a bad
pray
bitch.
I
No,
passed out.
Non-committal.
She crawled to the...
I'd be dead.
Major artery.
I'd see someone coming at me with a knife and I'd die.
Heart attack.
No, I'm not even kidding.
Strap dead there.
I'm so scared of pain. God.
She crawled to the road, and a cyclist came by and immediately called 911 and got her to the hospital.
That fucking... She's a child.
God bless the
Imagine
bicycles.
being on a bike, riding through your local park, and a bloody child comes crawling at you.
Skirt! Nope. Turning around.
Erin. She needs help.
But that's gotta be, so traumatic. I mean, obviously it's traumatic
Yeah.
for Peyton,
Yeah.
but whoever it was on the bike too. You're just in the woods by yourself.
And also, no average person, like, unless you're a fucking doctor, no one sees those injuries on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I feel like doctors don't see 19 stab wounds on a regular basis.
I mean, in some areas,
I mean, maybe.
But I doubt it.
But yeah, you're probably right. But I mean, like,
19...
any stab wound. I've never seen someone get stabbed. One time. Wait. Maybe.
I don't like that you have to think about it.
I've never seen someone get stabbed 19 times. Why are you looking at me like that?
She's seen someone get stabbed, just not 19 times.
It was through the hand. I don't think that counts.
Through it?
By
Yeah.
someone else or an accident?
By herself.
Okay.
Why?
My mom did that.
As an accident?
Maybe.
Okay.
I'll ask her next time I'm on FaceTime.
All
Did
right.
you mean to stab? Oh
It
my
was with a
God.
butterfly
Remember
knife.
when the butter knife went through your hand? Was that on accident?
It was with a butterfly knife. One of the ones that...
Oh no.
All that crazy shit.
Okay, I'm scared of your mom now. Next.
She's cool.
They were, we've been saying it, but they were 12 at this time, all three of them. And at school, they were allegedly very close friends. So they literally just asked their good friend to follow them into the woods. She would have suspected nothing.
Heartbreaking.
Which I hate that, but I also hate the fact that they were willing to become proxies for a fictional character. And
She
we're
was
like,
the school bully or something. Like, why?
No, they went straight to stabbing their best friend for this thing they've never dealt with, or
That's
it's not real, you know.
Right. That's heartbreaking.
It's so awful.
They're
Girls are
literally
mean.
children.
Girls
think-
are drama.
I think this borders a little further past girls are mean.
This is why I only have brothers.
you picked.
you chose.
I did.
You're the youngest.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
opted into it. Yeah.
That's heartbreaking, dude.
Peyton was released from the hospital after 7 days of treatment, and she has made a full recovery, which is pretty insane for
19 stab wounds.
Yeah, but I was also impressed it's a week.
Yeah.
I thought she would have been in the hospital for months.
A bad bitch.
She really came out of here swinging.
Well, she probably can't move much.
They
I don't know if she's swinging.
You go like watch interviews with her. She's like just a sweet person too.
That's heartbreaking.
Of course she is.
Yeah, no, she's just this sweet. I like watched one interview when this first happened, like looking at the news, or probably a couple years after, because she was recovered at this time, and she was talking about like how the stab wounds don't bug her much. Like she doesn't care that she has all these scars, and like she was volunteering at cat shelters or something, and I was like, what? This is the sweetest person on the planet. Why? How dare y'all try to take her?
You gave the cat shelters to her, though.
Yeah.
God gave her cat shelters.
The other two, they were caught at a furniture store or near a furniture store. They were like in front of it. They had walked to, it was about 5 miles down the road.
You stab someone and then go buy a fucking futon?
And get
Like,
this.
what are you doing?
The knife they stabbed her with was in their backpack. The backpack, they didn't even try to ditch it in the woods where they were.
How did they get caught? She told them.
I think, like, the parents knew.
Like who she was with or
Yeah, so they were
something?
able to get pictures out fast.
Okay.
That would make sense.
5
Yeah.
miles? I don't think my 12-year-old ass could have.
Or
done
at the
that.
very least, like, if she was coherent, she probably was able to tell them who hurt her. And if not, they were probably also worried for the other girl's safety.
Yeah,
Like, oh, if
could
maybe
they
they
have
didn't
cleaned
think it
up
was-
that much? Like, they probably look sketchy.
True.
I don't know if they
If they
prepared
didn't
for
drop
this.
a knife, there's no way they cleaned up.
Yeah, they didn't even think to ditch the murder
The
weapon.
literal murder weapon. Amateurs.
They thought they got away with it. They
They are going to hang out with Slenderman.
Yeah.
They go buy a fucking futon. What are you doing at a furniture store?
I
for
think that
Slenderman
was
to
just
sleep
like
on.
the area where they like in the parking lot of it.
I like my version better.
I'd like that version.
You
better,
go
too.
into an Ashley furniture home store.
That's- Where
Okay,
they
Ashley's
did.
expensive. Where are these 12-year-olds getting money?
Slenderman.
Also, you.
Slenderman paid them.
I feel like
In
Ashley Furniture
Bitcoin.
is very close to us. How many of those are there?
I don't know.
They're gonna come find us and murder us now.
I hope so.
I don't live by an Ashley Furniture.
When they were caught, Anissa was like extremely guilty, like apologetic about what she like acknowledged what she had done was wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but the other one, Morgan, felt and showed no remorse or emotion.
That's the one that did the stabbing.
Yeah, I was like, that she did this. She, like, pulled Anissa into it,
Yeah.
but, like, Morgan was here doing some business.
That's so fucked up.
I hate it. Anissa pleads guilty to being accomplice or party involved in attempted second-degree homicide. So she, like,
What's the difference between degrees of homicide?
the degrees is if it's intentional or not intentional.
So why is that second degree instead of first degree?
Well, like premeditated is one.
Yeah, that's what
So there's 3 different ones. There's like premeditated. There's one where like,
you meant to do it, but it was kind of like spur of the moment.
Okay.
and then
You
the
didn't
third
think
one
about
is
it.
like, I guess accidental or like out of rage kind of thing. Like it wasn't
Okay.
planned. You never thought about it before. It just kind of.
Happened.
Yeah.
Okay, I can get that. I was just curious why it wasn't like manslaughter or something, because they literally tried to kill her.
Yeah, that's what
No,
it was just
manslaughter's the
attempted.
accidental one, right?
I don't know.
So like if you're
Manslaughter's
driving.
accidental.
Like
Oh,
if you're
it's
driving
someone
down
with
the
your
road in the
car.
dark and there's a dude walking on the side of the road and you accidentally hit him and he dies, that's manslaughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that's not like you
That's
were
not
literally- you were
first-degree
literally like,
murder.
oh, 10 points. Like let me hit this man and kill him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like 10 points.
Manslaughter's accidental.
Okay,
And
and
then
then
it winds up in loss of life.
first degree murder,
It's premeditated. I,
I
wanna say.
believe so.
But there has to be proof of premeditation.
and then second degree is
Not premeditated.
Like there's
Not
no proof
premeditated?
of premeditated, but like you had like a
They know you were intending to kill them.
yeah.
Okay, so you like okay,
They
okay,
were
but there was
intending
no
to-
evidence of like the premeditation. They just know you did intend to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I
like
can
they
get
probably
behind
had evidence. Like the fact that they had a knife and brought her into the woods, like means that like they were trying to kill
wasn't
her.
out of
there was,
rage.
But there wasn't like
but there
a
was
map
no proof.
of whatever they
Right,
yeah.
like,
There
there
was
was no
no
proof that they'd been planning it for months. or
Motive.
whatever.
They don't have like the motive behind it too. Like they know that they had a plan to, but it wasn't some big let up thing.
Okay, I can get that.
And then the last one's rage.
Rage, fucking
I'm
rage.
checking us just to be sure.
Yeah, fact check
Okay.
that. It's one of those. That's how it's separated. I just don't know which degree is which.
Okay.
Okay. Most states' first-degree murder is defined as an unlawful killing that is both willful and premeditated, meaning that it was committed after planning or waiting for the victim. So that's first-degree murder.
Willful and premeditated.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm guessing one of the other ones is willful but not premeditated, and one of the other ones is rage.
Yeah, you didn't. Just kind of happened.
So like you wanted to do it but you didn't plan to do it. Maybe I don't know.
yeah.
This episode is gonna be 4 hours long.
Yeah.
I mean, you can edit.
Well, I'm going to, but
Okay. Second-degree murder is generally defined as intentional murder that lacks premeditation. So
Okay,
same
cool,
exact
cool,
thing
cool.
as Emily said. So yeah, hit the nail on the head with that one.
Yay.
what a strong
A
guess.
genius.
No. But yeah, so it was attempted second degree homicide, but the jury actually found her not guilty because of mental disease. So it's like pleading
Oh.
insanity, but the jury does it for you kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
She pleaded guilty, but the jury said no
You're
need
sick. You're
treatment.
13.
Yeah.
And you tried to kill your best friend in
over
the woods.
a video game character. You need help.
Well, yeah, because that's also like distinguishing reality from
Mhm.
fiction. Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah, so she
So she
didn't
is
plead
sick.
insanity. The jury kind of
They're
does
like, nah,
it.
bitch, you crazy.
Yeah. She was sentenced to 25 years to life,
Oh shit.
3 years of which had to be in locked confinement, and she was also placed in involuntary treatment in a mental health
And she's
facility.
13.
Yeah, a 13-year-old.
Oh fuck. 25 to life.
And after release, she had to be on communal supervision until age 37. So, like, people checking in on you and, like,
Whoa.
under supervision.
So
and,
she
like,
was released.
on watch list, yeah. No, she gets 25 to
To
life.
life first.
So they're the same
Okay.
age as me right now. They're 19 at this point and right now. So
That's
they're
fucking
still
crazy.
serving
God.
sentences. Morgan, the other girl, she was originally going to accept a plea offer where she would skip the trial and be just evaluated to see how long she would be locked away in a mental health facility.
And she was the one who wasn't remorseful?
Yeah,
Okay.
she was like the one who was really out here to mess something up.
Okay.
From the way they looked at it in the case is that she was kind of the ringleader of it.
Okay.
And she She originally, however, switched and pleaded guilty like Anneliese did and was found guilty by reason of mental disease as well.
So the same thing?
The jury kind of said for both of them,
no, you're sick.
don't plead guilty, you're sick, you need help.
Yeah.
She was actually diagnosed with schizophrenia, which runs in her family. So, like, really needed help. And that's probably why she was unremorseful of it. She really was
Believed
in a delusional state of, like, believing this was real.
That's
and had a family history of schizophrenia to back it up.
Holy
So it kind of
shit.
pulled Anneliese into it, who was also struggling mentally. I couldn't find anything that said she was diagnosed with anything specific, but she was in, like,
But you're
and still
so
is in
impressionable
therapy.
at that age.
That,
yeah.
and if Criminal Minds taught me anything.
There's actually 2 different Criminal Minds episodes based on this case.
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah, they
Hold
kind
the
of pull.
phone.
They pull on different aspects
I
of it.
haven't finished Criminal Minds
But there are
yet.
2 criminal.
So I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say in Criminal Minds they talk all the time about how if it's a duo, one of them really wants to do it and the other one is just kind of like a purse
Impressionable.
along for the ride.
A sidekick.
A sidekick is a good word for it. There's
Oh.
Criminal Minds episodes based on this.
2 of them. Yes.
Sick.
Morgan was sentenced to 40 years to life, with also 3 years in locked confinement and under psychiatric care until they deemed she was resolved of all symptoms, or until age 53, whichever came first. I was like, why drop her at 53?
What?
Imagine being in prison for
Like you
your
become
entire
sane at age 53?
and you're in prison for your entire
Imagine being a 12-year-old and sitting on the stand being told you will be in jail for the next 43 years of your life.
At least.
at
yeah.
least. That's
41.
insane.
It's scary.
And at that point, why would you even bother releasing her? She's been in jail her entire life anyway.
Yeah, and in a mental health
Like,
institute.
developed in prison, in the system.
And after that, after Morgan would be released, which it was at that, when her symptoms were cleared, or at 53, she would receive periodic reevaluations and, if needed, reinstitution for the rest of her life. So it would be like, I don't know if it'd be yearly or whatever, but would be reevaluated every so often.
Damn.
She was committed to the Winnebago Mental Health Institute and was the youngest patient to be committed to there as a 12-year-old. So crazy.
Imagine being 12 and looking
With all
around
these adults.
adult mentally.
And that's how you grow up. You are starting at 12, you grow up in jail and a mental health institution. And
Surrounded by adults.
And not working for Slenderman.
the next 3 years,
And not
she's
working
in
for
locked
Slenderman.
confinement. So she's, like, taken out of people. And
Until
then
she's 15 years old.
Holy shit.
it's crazy. I don't like it.
I don't like any of it.
No.
In March of this year, 2021, 19-year-old Anneliese is seeking release through the court, and the court date is set for next month, July 2021, to consider her request. She wrote a lot of, like, notes to judges and saying, like,
Well, she was the sidekick.
she's
didn't
like,
wanna do
I
it.
accept what I did, and I understand that I hurt people and that I deserved what I was sentenced. I completely admit to doing this, but, like, I hate my actions, but I no longer hate myself for my actions, and is under that claim.
Like she's come to terms with
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not a danger to anyone else or herself anymore, and
Right.
has, through the past years of being in the mental health institute, has written a lot to like keep tabs on it, and is finally asking to be released.
Well, it's been almost 10 years.
Yeah, and she would be going to, hers was just 25 to life, so she's about to be 20, so she's getting out earlier is what she's trying to do.
Yeah.
Morgan, the one that had 40 to life, had, they tried to have her retried as a juvenile, but was rejected
Why?
by an appeals court in
Why even have her
2021.
retried?
The severity of the case, they wouldn't do it because of how.
Oh, like they tried her as what you're saying is they tried her as an adult originally because of the severity of the case, and they want it retried as a juvenile?
They didn't feel like she should go to jail. They felt like juvie or something.
Nope.
I mean, she is 13.
She was 12, but they were like, no, that's a severe mental health
like she needs to be in an adult
It doesn't matter how
institution.
old you are, you need that help. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't
Like
do
19
anything.
stabs.
Yeah. I understand both sides though. Like you're 13 and you're surrounded by like adults.
Yeah.
But I guess like if you juvenile mental institutions, they're not there for murder. They're there for like
Yeah, they're
eating
like,
disorders
You
and-
need this. No matter if you were tried as a kid,
Mhm.
you still need a certain level of help that you would have to go there anyway.
yeah.
Kind of thing. So they just rejected the appeal.
I guess that makes sense.
After the event, the creator of Slenderman apologized to the family and community in Wisconsin. He wrote to them specifically. The Creepypasta Wiki made a statement explaining itself. I think it's on the front page of the wiki. It states that it's all fictional works that do not condone violence, satanic rituals, or murder.
Thanks for the clarification.
I know. I was like, y'all didn't have to be that specific. but
Slenderman?
yeah.
How sweet of you.
On June 13th, 14th of 2014, the Creepypasta fans and creators held a 24-hour YouTube stream to raise money for Peyton. In the stream, all the participants agreed that they supported Peyton and in no way condoned the violence caused by the fictional violence they enjoy.
Yeah.
Which I was like, I like how that's worded. Just because you enjoy fictional violence does not mean you condone anybody doing violence in the name of it.
Yeah.
Even if you enjoy the work still. On August 12th, 2014, the governor of Wisconsin declared a day called Purple Hearts for Healing and asked the people of Wisconsin to wear purple to honor Peyton, which I thought was so sweet. There was a festival later that month on August 29th that raised over $70,000 for Peyton's medical treatment
Oh, shit.
and recovery. And then in an interview, this is just to show how sweet Peyton is. In an interview with Peyton, she said that she would thank the other girls if she ever saw them again because it inspired her to pursue work in the medical field. It's like Peyton's literally the sweetest little girl.
I
She's the
can't
same age as
believe
me,
she was
but I keep
stabbed
calling her a little
19
girl.
times in the woods.
What is she up to? I want to be her friend.
But that's probably why they chose Peyton is because they were her good friends
She was
and
the
knew
nice one.
Yeah.
and knew that she would just be down to do anything with him and
Yeah.
was a good person and just sweet.
Yeah. That's heartbreaking.
There's a couple of interviews with her and she always is just so positive and with the event is never mad at anybody or mad at the situation and it's just so I'm so glad she's made a full recovery.
I genuinely forgot she lived.
Yeah, no.
Like when I heard that story.
I did not expect that you were going to say she lived.
When I just remember, because I remember watching something about this pretty recently, last year or something, but it was all about before the stabbings, weird things that the parents and stuff noticed beforehand. I might be wrong, but didn't one of the girls Peyton and her were close for their whole childhood, and then the other one came in later?
They had all met in 4th grade, according
Oh,
to
okay.
Peyton. But it might have been later in 4th grade. One of them came along.
Right.
I'm not sure, but I do.
Or the
I do know
trio
that
came to be in 4th grade or something.
Yeah, I know Peyton said that they were met in 4th grade.
Right.
That's a quote from her.
I just remember, and it might have been something different, and I might just be getting things confused with a different group of little girls. But for some reason, I just remember there was some weird bullying or something, wasn't there? Or one of the girls, I don't know. I'm speaking out of my ass. I genuinely did not remember that she lived. I just remember hearing a bunch of sad stuff, and then she got stabbed.
Yeah, no,
That's heartbreaking.
they were playing hide and seek, which is hide and seek's kind of a scary game.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm terrified.
Exactly. I
Of
hate hide and seek.
Have you ever played?
I love hide and seek and hate hide and seek at the same time.
My favorite hide and seek is blind hide and seek. Have you ever played that?
I did once with
It's
Caleb
so
and all them.
fun.
We got obliterated drunk
Yeah.
whenever Leslie moved into our house and we before she got furniture and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So just a big ass 3-bedroom house with no furniture. And it we played it during the day. So when we had all the lights off inside, because you turn all the lights off inside,
Mhm.
you could still kind of see but the person that's it, like, has something tied around
Yeah.
their face or whatever. It's fucking hilarious when you're not it. But
Yeah.
when you're it, oh my god.
I don't know. I played it with my D&D group once, Obliterated.
Mm-hmm.
And I got on top of the cabinets that were on top of the fridge. So
I was
like
about to say, I got on top of the fridge, bitch, but you just upped
I
me.
got on top of the cabinets and laid like completely flat, and I won that round. But
Obviously.
when I was it, they said it was really creepy because I put it around my head or whatever, but I wasn't laughing. I was completely silent. I was like, I'm listening for your fucking
You're a
breathing, bitch.
psycho.
I was determined to win. No one could beat my time.
There you go.
But it was scary. One of my friends, he pushed the chairs into the table and laid on top of the chairs under the table.
That's smart.
He was the hardest to find.
Yeah.
Speaking of weird games, though, we played like Slenderman in the front yard. We would
How
draw
does one play Slenderman?
like the game. But do you remember doing that, right? We would in the game. You're going around in the woods trying to collect like Slenderman's 8 pages. And if you collect the 8 pages, he'll let you leave. Is like the whole thing of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So we would have the 8 pages drawn out and hide them. I live in the woods, so we would hide them around. And it was pretty much just a complicated game of tag.
Yeah.
Somebody was it, and if you were it, you were Slenderman, and you were just trying to tag everyone. And if you tag someone, they became a Slenderman proxy. So you kind of got more and more. It was like zombie tag.
Okay.
Pretty much. We just were weird. But like the girls,
We just were weird.
the girls drew those same pictures at the same age as us.
Oh.
Like they were into that same stuff. It just took a very dark
Are y'all the
turn.
girls that murdered your friend?
I'm glad we didn't.
Am I in the wrong room? Adam, we gotta go.
Like we did that shit.
It's so weird but we were still childish about it. We turned it into a game of tag and like read scary stories around bedtime. We stayed up too late and scared ourselves around bedtime. At the same age, they took the same stories and same like creepy drawings and tried to kill somebody. Their good friend. It's so weird that could happen like that.
I don't like thinking about it in the context that you're putting it into.
I hate that's the
All in
whole-
all,
This
girls
thing,
are mean.
girls are dramatic and mean.
That's the name of this episode.
We have 2 names now.
That happens every episode.
Fair enough.
Dude, I hate that. I hate
Scary
that so
noodles.
much.
Scary noodles are a trip and a half.
Dude.
The fact that y'all liked Slenderman is now freaking me out. I need to
No.
see what this girl looks like. What's her name?
Peyton.
Peyton what?
Oh, I have it.
Look up like Slenderman murder.
Yeah, if you look up the Slenderman stabbing, Peyton, it'll pop up. It's called the Slenderman stabbing.
I don't like seeing the picture of it.
The creepypasta, the wiki, and was banned in the school system of Wisconsin because of this case.
Damn.
I think just in the area, like not all of
Yeah.
Wisconsin, but in like how we have parishes,
Yeah.
whatever, counties, and everywhere else. The county, it was banned in.
Damn. Imagine going to that school. Like, imagine being in, like, the
Knowing
same
those
middle
girls.
school as them.
And watching the case on television,
Unfold.
if you were allowed to, because most 12-year-olds aren't even allowed to watch the news.
No. And I remember when it happened.
I remember like reading
our
the
parent,
articles.
like, my parents were freaked the fuck out.
Yeah, because we were playing Slenderman tag.
Yeah.
They were like, wait a second, you're not allowed to read that anymore.
Yeah.
You can't play those games anymore.
And I remember, too, because my dad was like, yeah, you can't do that anymore, whatever. And I was like, well, why? And he was like, well, some girl just got killed because of it. And I remember thinking, yes, that is the typical over-exaggeration that my parents do because they don't want me to do something. So they're going to tell me that someone died because of this internet content that I like because they don't want me to watch it. And I didn't take it seriously until years later when I
Can you
learned, like,
read the
no,
article? No,
she was almost killed.
there was actually this has been used in, like, you know how there's always that big argument of like video games are causing violence.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people like started attacking creepypasta after this, and there was one lady, I forget her name, but specifically said this story, it depends on who like these stories reach, but these stories aren't anywhere, like they're the same as reading vampire and zombie books as a kid. It's just you have to be there and see how kids are responding to it. They can't be let alone into the woods with a knife. you know.
And it's also like people who consume that kind of content, it's not because you like the violence. Like, you're not sitting there like, yes, stabs.
like the adrenaline rush of the horror games.
Well, that is morbid curiosity. It's what this podcast is literally built around. It's like it's interesting because it's
so absurd that it wouldn't happen.
And it's so fundamentally against what we're taught to enjoy. Like,
and our instincts.
Why would you read about... It's the same concept as, like, being interested in serial killers. Only mine are fictional.
Yeah.
You know, like... And a lot of the story... Like, Jeff the Killer... Like, I don't know if you remember that story.
I do.
He cut his fucking eyelids off, dude. He burned his eyelids off, and his skin turned bleach white. Like, it was just so...
It's like...
It's absurd. It's not possible.
You wouldn't think it would happen. Ever. But some people just had the writing talent, too.
His eyelids?
Yeah. Google Jeff the Killer.
He ain't got eyelids.
He looks stupid, but it's such an edited picture.
Noodle. Oh, I don't like it. His little picture popped up when I typed in Jeff the...
He's a very famous
like
Creepypasta.
that thing that rides on the bike with the red...
Jigsaw!
He does look like Jigsaw.
But, like, it's such a bad story. It's not even that
good. If you
good.
go back, even, like, I love Tiki Toby. If you go back and read it, it's just kind of like, okay.
It's a self-insert fan fiction.
Yeah. It's just... They're good stories, and they were so fun to read growing up.
Yeah.
And it was like just reading a scary book from the library, though. Is how I took it. We played the video games because they were fun video games, but I never thought anything of it, you know?
Yeah, and like my sister was allowed to like horror movies, you know?
So
like why is that
I
different?
Read little horror stories.
But it's like, I feel like people take it out of fucking context. People are like, yes, Slenderman, I'm going to go murder my friend in the woods.
I remember being, like, not allowed to watch horror movies, not because of that, but because, like, my mom knew I wouldn't sleep at night.
True.
Not because of shit like, oh, you're going to turn into one of them. Or, you know.
But why is that so different? Because I wasn't allowed to watch horror movies.
That must have been the one that did the stabbing. Did y'all see that crazy looking bitch? Hold on, let me pause the video. They just showed a picture, of all three of them. See, she's so cute. That one? Was that the one that did the stabbing? Had to be.
I don't know.
I really can't tell which one is which.
I just remember the pictures of them in court.
This is the one that got stabbed.
See,
court pictures. Let me look at those.
My bet's the one in the middle. She looks so disconnected.
The one in the middle looks like the one that would, like, do whatever you tell her to do.
Maybe.
In my opinion. Let's see.
Damn.
We have to say goodbye.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, we should... This episode's going to be real long.
Yeah, but that's okay. It's a special one.
Yeah, we didn't even introduce it very well, but it's episode 10. It's double digits.
Yeah. We said it was 10. We just didn't say why we were...
I was right. Instinct, baby. What a fucking psychopath.
They oh my gosh.
They both look creepy. I need to stop. I'm going to see them in my fucking dreams. They look like they're 8 years old.
Well, they were 12.
It really puts into perspective, though, like how little they are.
And all these photos, she's like...
But yeah.
Episode 10.
What did you think of the stories, Erin, as our guest?
Sleep.
Oh.
Good shit.
Here to get scared.
Thank you for supporting the podcast for so long, too.
Yeah.
You've been listening literally since
Forever,
day
ever.
one.
Yes.
You had to listen to me talk about it at work, too.
You got all the shout-outs.
True.
All of
them.
them.
We didn't even have to name drop you this time because you were here.
I'll be back.
Yeah, even though we kept you here until 1 a.m. I
don't give a fuck.
You have work tomorrow.
So?
Big girl job. I have work tomorrow.
I do not. It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
What time do you work?
It's like 4 o'clock.
That's not bad.
Something crazy.
Where do you work?
I walk dogs and work for
You
my dad.
do. Do you have a golden retriever yet?
No.
Poor
The dog I
depressed
walk now, I just got him. He's half golden retriever, half Pyrenees.
Is that the one you showed me?
No, that was Duck. The last time I was here.
Yeah.
I have a picture of Deuce now.
Duck and Deuce. Deuce.
Cool. He's sweetie. He's old.
Oh, I love him. He looks like a golden.
Yeah, he's like a tall golden retriever, is how I describe him. He's just slightly taller than the golden retrievers I've met.
Mojito.
I'd say this was a pretty successful episode.
I enjoyed it a lot.
It was a lot.
Even
It was
though
fun
we had-
having another person here.
Yeah, it changed it up a little bit.
Yeah, gave me 2 people to look at.
I'll be back on episode
Name a number and you're committing to it.
20.
Oh,
What's
okay.
10?
This
Yeah.
is 10.
Yes, 20.
Okay. I can get behind that.
I'm down.
If I have to do another
15 if y'all feeling it.
15 was going to be our garbage disposal episode. Maybe.
Yeah.
That might be fun.
Because when you're 15, you're a garbage disposal.
Okay. Let's do the fork in the garbage disposal.
We kept seeing that one day at school. I don't know why.
Okay. We have to sign off.
Big
Yeah.
titty bitch sit on my face.
Done.
Follow us on everything. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.
I'm leaving that.